through the 17th. Free admission, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Merry-go-rounds, family, kid, and adult rides, wristbands nightly. Lynette Fall Festival presented by WQEE, WZZV, WVEQ, November 12th through the 17th. Be there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bruce Wayne, and I'm a counselor that works here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm offering my services as a counselor. Contact me if you need my services at my website, www.flourish2live.org, or you can reach me at my number, 470-215-0167. If you're in need of counseling services, please reach out. We can do in-person and online services are available.
Are you looking for a reliable dental practice that not only cares about your teeth, but is friendly to work with? How about one that offers great deals and new patient promotions? Well, your search is over.
Trying to get my poll question up. Sorry, guys. I don't know.
Is committed to giving you the biggest and
I'll get with you in a minute. Good morning, everybody.
$99 new patient special, including x-rays and exam. Maybe you're looking for veneers. Most Valuable Smiles veneer special includes one free veneer with every 5 purchased. Or get that bright white smile you've always wanted by taking advantage of an exclusive $100 off Zoom whitening treatment when you book today. Most Valuable Smiles in downtown Eatonton to lock in these exclusive deals. 706-623-0318 or visit mostvaluablesmiles.com.
Hello, this is Perry Johnson's 2 cents on the economy today. Are we headed for a credit crisis in office buildings? It's very interesting to note that we have somewhere between $80 and $280 billion of credit that will have to go out to have office buildings refinanced next year. That's a huge amount of money because they were financed at very, very low rates, near zero. And now they'll have to pay very high rates. Yet we have to keep in mind that the banks have to keep their balance sheets very solid. 40% of all the loans of regional banks are for these types of loans. And that could pose a serious problem. That is Perry Johnson's 2 cents on the economy today. For your 2 cents, go to perryjohnson2cents.com.
All right. Good morning, True Crime Thursday, people. Good morning, Pamela. 1.6 million people were without power this morning in Florida. What's up, Martin, Randall, Pete, Patriots, Pamela, of course, Bali. All right, good. I got everybody.
This time of year is awesome. The weather is cooling off and the backyard parties are heating up. Who has time to shop for naturals?
You get more. And more. Your chance to win $50,000.
This is Hunter Asadi of the Columbus River Dragons. Your home for River Dragons hockey and Unit 99 Rock.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, everybody. It's time to kick off the True Crime Thursday edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We got all your headline news for you, but also we're going to talk about some true crime stories. Hurricane Milton weekends, we'll tell you, 1.6 million without power in Florida, and Waffle House is closed. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal, and of course, I'm the game, all right, whether they like it or not. Well, we are at 78,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast. Shout it out loud. Across the RyanORadio media page, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. You shouldn't be watching them. They all lie. You're also listening to The Real Deal here on the Navajo Nation, 25 different radio stations there, real and internet, as well as the British Columbia, Isles of Canada, across 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern Sports, Inspirational Talk, and more, and all our other affiliate Jordan Communication stations as well, from Lineville to Lynette to LaGrange. We're welcoming you in, and if you're not listening, You're not here. Where are you? Yes, I'm the man around here, whether they like it or not. I tell it like it is. I called out the clickbaiters back in the day when that's when they started having to start looking at those clickbaiters. Can't be buffering. It must be on your end, Bali. Everything's working good on my end. Reboot, bro. Good morning to Bali this morning, our resident gentleman who gives us all of our Middle East and real news over in India and the Middle East. Not stuff we see on major television. Good morning to Pete. He says hello to the zoo crew. Or hello to the Navajo Nation as well as me and everybody else. Good morning to Pete and Noonan. The Patriot. I'm on now. I'm not on the net. Time to wake and bake. That's right. Need to. Good morning to Randall. Roll Tide Randall, my brother that I like to call Shelton. Guys that don't know that, Big Bang Theory, young Sheldon. Yeah. You look at it and go, oh, that guy's a genius. Is that what you're saying about him? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Roll Tide Randall's with us this morning. Also, Miss Pamela's on with us this morning. Good morning. And Pennsylvania. How cool is it there in Pennsylvania? It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm going to tell you what it is here. I think so far that's it. That's all that's on. Lebanon asked India for a ceasefire. Oh, after Israel was attacked, Lebanon has asked India for a ceasefire. Thank you, Bali, for dropping that in there, brother. There you go. Oh, rock singers that are 70. Why is that in the top? Why was that in the top? Stories there. So many days Lebanon can't take steps. And wow. Thank you for letting me know, brother. 50 degrees Fahrenheit there. And Pennsylvania is 55 degrees here with strong winds in the next 2 hours in the metro Atlanta area of Noonan. That's right. Also, we're 56 degrees in Auburn, Opelika, 54 in Lineville, and of course, LaGrange is hitting at 55 degrees as well. We're up into Atlanta, it's 56 degrees. There you go. That's it. That's what's going on. It's cool out there. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Noonan. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things that all might go the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. Traffic's still a little heavy out there. Traffic is still a little heavy out there this morning due to a lot of people coming in from Florida. They probably will be making their way back by Friday, just to let you guys know. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with that. Traffic's still a little heavier. All right. Aaron Rodgers says, no, I'm not the one that got the Jets coach fired. We'll talk about that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Florida Governor Ron Desatis gave an update last night at 7:30 p.m. on everything as Hurricane Milton come in. 1.6 million outages of power outages there in that area. Riding the storm out. I love that song, Randall. But some people rode the storm out. Some people were with us in our areas and everything. So be on the lookout for that. 1.6 million power outages, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Waffle House is closed 100 locations. You know it was bad when they closed 100 locations. Three-term senator from South Dakota dies at 77, Tim Johnson. We'll have more additional details on that. Hurricane Milton is weakening, thank goodness. Even though it did knock a lot of stuff out, we'll get the final tally of a lot of stuff. Rockdale County, people in Rockdale County still calling for someone to take, not the blame, but the responsibility for the biolab fire. They're calling for local county officials to take that responsibility. We'll talk about that this morning. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Israel has so far refused any details of their current plans to retaliate against Iran. Of course, Iran and Israel have been fighting for years and years and years. It's just it's just not as covered when it's time for other people to cover other things. We'll talk about Jessica Campbell. She made history as one of the first female coaches with the Kraken. We'll talk about that, even though they didn't do too well. Bush lead singer Gavin Rossdale's got a new series coming out where he's going to be playing music, cooking, and talking with all kind of stars coming and inviting them to his house. We got these stories plus true crime news from Georgia across the state, across every single state. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Kim Kardashian and that, you know, she likes to help out people. She likes to destroy Kanye West's life and turn him into a Nazi, but she likes to supposedly help out people and get them out of jail. Well, she wants to get the Mendez brothers out. You know, the two guys that were accused of, you know, allegedly killing their parents and they admitted to it. Yeah. She wants to get her and some other stars that want to help them out. We'll talk about that. Captain Hot Buns joining us this morning. Captain Hot Buns this morning. Yeah, I talked about that in the RyanORadio pre-show. Love to see you pop in the chat one day. Yeah, I was going to try to, but I was all the way up to right now. Right when I got on, trying to get everything together. I've got to put stuff on my radio station Facebook. I didn't even share this on the Facebook this morning. I just came live with you guys. Oh, Lord. But I will try to make sure I'll put some time aside to be in there because I love the Minuteman Mountain War Room with the Patriots. Every time I go in, I have a good time. All right, let's see. Nicole Brown Simpson was the wife of O.J. Simpson. Her and Ron Goldman were killed, and they supposedly never found the killers. So which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders? Nicole Brown Simpson and Rod Goldman, 44% of the votes. I still feel O.J. did it, and a lot of people do too. Notorious B.I.G. Nobody's voted for Notorious B.I.G. being murdered, and he was murdered shortly after Tupac, who was murdered over in Las Vegas. Sharon Tate and her friends that were supposedly in the wrong place at the wrong time when Charles Manson sent his cult members to kill her, 0% of the votes. And any other, I guess that would consider Hogan's Hero star, as well as the original Superman star being murdered, and any others. There's several here I'm going to go over throughout the morning to talk about. So there you go. Martin's on. All right, let's go ahead and go over here. Nothing but trouble. And Pamela says there was a tornado outbreak ahead of the hurricane coming ashore yesterday, and that they were all PDS type. Oh, thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. Nothing but trouble up in Tennessee says Hurricane Milton has split Florida just like the map found about 10 years, and the government came out saying it wasn't true. Now it's happening, and they've shut up. That's true. Nothing but trouble. Well, you know, 10 years ago when those people were actually looking for things, you had actual journalists looking for all this stuff. Today, anybody and everybody does it. But back then, you know as well as I know, that was a journalist that looked that up and brought it to our attention. Not a mainstream journalist, but a journalist. Good morning, Daniel. He says, good morning, Ryan and fellow inmates. What's up? Martin, my brother, my elder statesman, brother from another mother, my Ed McMahon. I'm sorry. He is, guys. I adopted him as my Ed McMahon. He said it. I take it. My Ed McMahon I'm his Johnny Carson to his Ed McMahon. He's my Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson. For those who don't know who that is, look it up. Not right now, but after the show. Good morning, elder statesman. You always have to show the respect to the elder statesman. If not, then you're just being like the rest. All right, so there you go. We got a lot to talk about. Aaron Rodgers, my goodness. I want to get into that. Him going, I am not the one that caused this guy to get fired. He may have not been, but he sure is getting blamed for it. And Garth Brooks, man, oh my goodness, some more information coming about that true crime. I'll read some true crime stories through the morning, but I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some other stuff that we're really going to have to get into this morning. And Garth Brooks, there's an update on that situation as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at some headline news from South Dakota. Tim Johnson, a South Dakotan representative for 3 decades on Capitol Hill, has died at age 77. There's one way. Now, I'm not going to say that. 10 years in the House, 18 years in the Senate. And of course, he died October 8th at a hospice center in South Dakota at age 77. The cause was from a recent stroke that he had had. Wow. He suffered a life-threatening brain hemorrhage in December of 2006, 1 month after his midterm elections, which won him the retake control of the Senate with a 51-49 majority. We'll keep his family in your prayers. Whichever side I was on, I don't really know. I do know, but I'm not going to say. We're just going to pray for the family. All right. God, I can't believe all this. I know some people might say, hey, that's one way to get to clear the swamp. Ooh, that's a mean way to say it, but I guess it would be. Also, former President Trump pledges to end double taxation of Americans abroad. That's a good deal. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this one right here I've got recent polls. Donald Trump has pulled ahead of Vice President Harris in a must-win state poll. In Pennsylvania, Trump is now at 49% of the likely voters there in one of the Keystone states. Just to let you guys know, they're keeping you abreast to what's going on. Waffle House says have closed nearly 100 Florida locations ahead of the hurricane. You know it was bad. You know it was pretty bad. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about this. 2 planes, ladies and gentlemen, hit one another at the intersection of the taxiway at the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport on Tuesday morning. One plane, according to the FAA, the first plane clips the smaller plane from the backside. No injuries reported. The smaller plane was heading to Lafayette, Louisiana. That is some of the news headlines for you, including, ladies and gentlemen, Israel has so far refused to detail any of its plans to retaliate against Iran. U.S. officials say that even the White House officials don't know what's going on, as they are close to the Middle East allies, do not know what Prime Minister Netanyahu and crew are planning. Maybe it should just be a secret. I understand we are their partners, but maybe it should just be a secret. All right. Anyway, Pete says, Ryan, remember, H.C. Reese is going to be at the author panel tonight at the Carnegie Library. What time is that, Pete? Drop it in there. The poll is rigged. The Manson murders were nuts when you read into Charles Manson was used by the CIA in the efforts of LSD on brainwashing. Okay, Graham. What you say? Whatever you say. Yeah, that's my listeners. I don't judge anybody for their opinions. But Charles Manson, I do believe Charles Manson, he orchestrated all that stuff, but he did not. He did not actually do it. What Tim Wall's news is that, Patriot? Hopefully it's not a bunch of make-believe stuff, because if you're watching it on one of the news networks, they're lying. They're all lying. 6 p.m. tonight, Carnegie Library. H.C. Reese is hosting is part of the authors panel. Which place was it? Send that to me at 99classicrock@gmail.com so I can read it, brother. Him calling for elimination for the Electoral College. Oh, wow. Now, did he actually do that, or did they say that? Because we did find out yesterday that Elon Musk, who's crazy anyway, his mom wanted the Republicans to supposedly steal. I don't think any of them are going to do it on either side, but Yeah. Send that over to me. Let me check it out, brother. I'd love to hear it. I haven't heard anything about it. Thanks. Just 99classrock@gmail.com. He got all of them hopped up on LSD, which made them. Yeah. You're right. He got them all hopped up on it, Grim. That's cool. You're right. He did get them all messed up. Of course, when your mind's messed up, you're not going to think straight. You're right about that. That's not just an opinion. That may be your opinion, but I agree with you on that. People mess up. What's it? Agent 206. There you go. And if he did call for that, that would be completely wrong. We don't need to call for the elimination of electoral colleges, and we need to keep what we have, continue moving on. But I just want to give you guys the update this morning. I know that you don't get it too much because everybody continues to not update when your guys' candidate gets ahead. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that he was ahead in the polls and Pennsylvania. That's conspiracy, laugh out loud. Well, it's conspiracy that you get too high and want to kill somebody on LSD. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about all that. We got to take a break. Bolly says, WTF, can't believe anything. I know, right? How's the hurricane in Florida? Is it still going on? It's winking down. We'll talk a little bit about that after the break, brother. Yes, they're doing well, but 1.6 million people were without power this morning in Florida right now. But like Nothing But Trouble said, it kind of seemed like it split Florida and everything. Pamela reported, of course, there was a lot of tornadoes touching down before the hurricane came in, which is true as well. Back in a moment, we'll talk more about that because that is one of our top stories. Thank you, Patriot, for sending that over. I'll check it out when you get a chance to. Also, we'll talk about our poll question this morning a little bit. Which of these were the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders? Nicole Brown Simpson, O.J. Simpson's wife, and Ron Goldman, 42% taking that spot. 50% any other, including Superman and Hogan's Hero star being killed. Sharon Tate, 8% of the votes, and Notorious B.I.G. Why can't he get any love? I mean, he was murdered. Suge Knight sitting around going, all these crazy white folks out here. All these crazy people out here. I went to jail because I was doing, there was murders around me, but I didn't do it. I went to jail for money. All these crazy white folks killing each other. That's what Suge Knight said. And you love P. Diddy? You thought P. Diddy because he dressed up and didn't talk like me? He was nice. Back in a moment. Garth Brooks, we'll talk about him this morning too. Wow. True Crime Thursday continues.
West Georgia weather forecast sponsored by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or who eat things at all. Today, plenty of sunshine in the forecast with northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, high near 78. Clear skies tonight, light and variable winds with a low near 48. Going into your
Tupac did get killed by somebody over there in Las Vegas. Well, look, it's like a guy was on Rod Peterson's show the other day. He's friends with Bret the Hitman Hart. And also another guy was on Rod's show whose girlfriend is Sarah Palin. And but anyway, the guy that's friends with Bret the Hitman Hart, he basically said that Vince McMahon, was one of the greatest promoters and wrestling minds ever, but he was a piece of blank and S word as a human being. Garth is 6 foot and 300 pounds, beefy to say the least, as Jim H. But yeah. So the reality, ladies and gentlemen, of it is, even though, and I agree, Polly, he did his music stuff, but a lot of people are very talented. Doesn't mean they're good people. You think Garth Brooks is? Look at Graham. He's a serial killer. No. He's just a serial rapist. Oh, that's funny. He looks like a total creep. He is, and it's getting worse for him now. I might have to pull up that story here later on. But it's East Coast versus West Coast the old days. That's right, Molly. I mean, the thing about it is Suge Knight got in trouble, things that were supposed to be associated with him and all that kind of stuff. And then Suge Knight didn't even do half the stuff that these people actually are doing, and it's weird. And Suge come out and said, you know what Suge Knight come out and said? He said that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's relationship was destroyed by what P. Diddy did. By showing those photos. I guess Diddy had some photos of her or something. He said he sent him some stuff over, and he said, hey, that's what destroyed their relationship. But it probably wouldn't have bothered somebody like Suge Knight. He'd be like, who cares, boy? You just got to be strong, man, sometimes. Drink me about $15. Drink me about $15 peppers. You want me to do my farce for you? I drank about $15 peppers. I gotta pay. That's for you, Graham.
Your search is over. Most valuable smiles in downtown Eatonton, Georgia is
I did that for you, bro.
$99 new patient special, including x-rays and exams.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Patriot. Mama wants to say hello to you. Mama told me he's from Great Bow, Alabama, to say hello to everybody. My name's Boss Gump. I'm gonna eat these chocolate candies. Oh yeah. Now, Foz, come over here and leave those folks alone. Lieutenant Dan got no legs. Lieutenant Dan, you got no legs. Oh, I do all kind of voices, guys. That's what I do on the radio for years. I didn't even get away with picking on people. Or picking at people, not picking on people, picking at people. Ooh. Haunted Hills. Scary. The ice cream scene always kills me where he just puts it. Yeah, I know. Look, man, a buddy of mine and I in college, dude, we watched that movie so much, I can tell you everything about it. I can tell you that there's a clear pearl drum set in the background when Jenny was getting ready to jump off the ledge, and she never jumped off the ledge. I was like, no, go back to the pearl drum set. I don't care if she jumps. I'm just kidding. It was a clear pearl drum set all the way together. And the guy that she was with in there, he was high on the bed. We watched the movie so much that we picked every little thing out in the background. We actually saw when Forrest got shot in the buttocks. Like, oh my God, he did get shot. That's how much we watched that movie in college, brothers. Sisters. Yep, that's my instrument, the drums. My dad loved that movie. That was a funny movie. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I went on the road for a little bit. I played with the band Green Jello. Little Pig, Let Me In. I played with a Christian rock outfit. Played with some guys out in Vegas, all over that area. Yep, years ago when I was a youngster. You got no rhythm. That's all right. It's all right. People today, all you got to do is plug it into the computer. And then you don't even have to have talent anymore. You just find somebody else that's already played. This is me. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Oh, welcome back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. We appreciate you being with us on this True Crime Thursday. We're going to get back into the details of the Hurricane Milton. We're going to keep tracks of that. I know that 1.6 million people are without power right now. God bless those people. You brought me back to 1995 military school with that one, Ryan. Green Jello. Little Pig. Yes. I had an opportunity to play with them. Good morning to Bill Mann, speaker out there in Hollywood, California. All right. As he likes to say, they really are Hollywood. He said he likes it out there because of this. It's sunny all the time. Yep. When you're in a punk rock band that sings songs like Three Little Pigs, then you're like, hey, this place is too weird for me. Did you drum in a Christian band whose guitarist's name was David? I did not. I went with a guy named Rex was in the band, is what I'm going to say. He's out in Hollywood. You guys will love it. My brother Rex. Good morning, Rex. My brother Rex. He knows who he is. We opened up for thanks for asking. And we just do a little, this is Ryan's moment right quick for all the listeners out there. Good morning, Sweet Leaf, Tim, Bob, Sue, and Rodney K there on Navajo Nation. I'll get to the rest of you in a moment. Rex, yeah, we did a show at a church in a certain little place where the Chargers play football. It's the Chargers, it might be the Rams, and in one of those little locations, and we opened up for Blood Good. And we went in, and Les Carlson was the singer. I went in, and I was open, and I was going into the green room, and he walks in, and there ain't nothing but a bunch of hippies in there. And he says, "We don't let hippies come in here." I was like, "Oh, I got to go." I love those. All those were the days, man. Green, it's weird. I know, Rex, you're going to be like, Randall, I know you'll be like, well, what do Christian rockers do backstage? We eat M&Ms and drink sodas. Green M&Ms. It's like, oh, man. I know what you were thinking, Randall. But, yeah, I've done a few different types of groups. So played a couple of different types of bands out there. Thanks for asking. Let's go to the phone lines. Who is this?
Little pig, let me in.
Nobody here with my chin.
There you go. I had to call in. This is a Patriot.
I know.
Call in and sing that. You brought me back to military school 1995 with that one, sir.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's awesome. Well, I had the honor to play with Bill out there in California and Arizona when we were living in Las Vegas. Showed up one night, and a guy that was supposed to be playing drums for him was just like, had his drum set up there. And he's like, I'm just so tired, because he invites the fans get up on stage and put the costumes on of all of his songs. And he's like, I don't want them touching my drums. So Bill's like, you're fired. And then Ryan, you're hired. And I took over that night.
Outstanding, man. That is cool. Living the dream, definitely.
It was exciting. Now that I'm older, I just look back on all those memories going, I guess I did something in my life. I don't know.
That's right. You look back and you go, wow, that's good. You got to write a book, man. That's what everybody tells me. You got to write a book.
I got to write a book for sure. I think that'll be coming later on. What I really want to do actually is start doing some documentaries. And that one I told you I'm serious about, I want to start doing some stuff like that, put on the radio, on my page here, on my YouTube page and everything. That's what I want to get into. And then I'll write a book as I get to be an old man. I get to be Martin. If I ever get to be Martin's age at 70, I get up there to 70, 71 like him, then I'll write a book.
That's right. The memoirs.
That's right.
You got to purposely leave Jameson stains on your book, like fake Jameson stains.
Yeah,
only your viewers now will understand.
That's right. I got to do that. Only my viewers will understand, and it'll be a dedication for one certain person.
Get back to the text. Keep up doing the good.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, Patriot. Have a good day. Bye. All right. Thank you very much. There you go. Yeah, I just had to get that out there for you guys and everything. Like, subscribe, and share to the page. Please do. We're going to talk more about some of these Hollywood murders this morning. I want to drop that in there with our true crime since we have that this morning, and especially with Kim Kardashian. To me, the Kardashians scare me more than anybody out there because every one of their poor men, something happened to those poor guys. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say Bruce Jenner did what he did because of what he did. I'm not going to say Kanye West is what he is now. I'm going to blame it on all them. Every one of them poor men that's ever been married in that family, something happened except for that Scott guy, whatever, Discus, whatever. He's the only one that survived the family. Yeah, but he's still with them. I don't know why. He's still giving them money. I don't know. I don't understand. And even though the brother had an ex-girlfriend, and the poor girl was like some hip-hop star, and then they pushed her to becoming an OnlyFans. That's how they destroyed her career. So the reason I bring that up is Kim Kardashian wants to get the Menendez brothers out of prison. You know, the ones that allegedly, even though they were, of course, convicted, allegedly. You always got to use the allegedly on everything, so that's what keeps you from getting in trouble out there. Allegedly, remember, use this anytime you're talking about allegedly. This keeps you from getting in trouble. Allegedly, they murdered their parents, even though we've seen documentaries and movies and everything about it. She wants to get them out. What? You don't know who the Kardashians are? You got to keep up with the Kardashians, Bobby. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There was a show called that. So every one of those men. But she wants to get them out. Oh, my goodness. Really? 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 I got to pull a miss. Really? 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 Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in this morning. It's True Crime Thursday. We got a lot of true crime to get to this morning. And I'm going to talk about Garth Brooks. I'm going to bring that news story up in just a few. Plus, investigators recently identified a Goose Creek, South Carolina homicide victim. She has been there. And authorities in Texas have arrested a 51-year-old art teacher. We'll tell you what she did with a student. More than an art project's all I'm going to say. Good Lord Almighty. And then they wonder why your parents out there are like, I don't really trust school anymore. And they wonder why the parents is like, used to have been like, all the older guys were like, yeah, I want my teacher to do that. All the young guys are like, I told you, they're doing stuff in the schools, man. It's crazy. You want me to do Alex Jones for you for a minute there? Bolly, how you doing? Alex Jones here on the RyanORadio Penitentiary Show. Hey, they may be taking my format and stuff away from me, but my boy Ryan is letting me be on. Thank you, Ryan, for letting me be on, buddy. I'm not going to say anything against you, buddy. You know, I disagree on that whole Sandy Hook thing. Yeah, I know, Ryan. We can always disagree, but still be friends. I understand. There you go. That was for you, Bolly. We had him come on. Forrest was on a little earlier on the feed, so you got to check that out. Which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murders? Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. O.J. Simpson, I believe, did it. But at least we know that now that O.J. Simpson has passed away, Ron and Nicole's murderer has finally got what he deserved. Notorious B.I.G.'s got no love. 46% for her. No love for Notorious B.I.G. Come on. Hip hop back in the day. I wasn't a big hip hop guy, but a lot of guys my age were. Come on. Sharon Tate and her murders. We'll talk about the Manson murders. 8% of the votes, and any other with 46% of votes. And I'll give you some of those deaths that happened in Hollywood. Do want to start off with the Sharon Tate murders. The tale of the Manson murders haunts generation after generation. Charles Manson and his devoted followers, called the Manson family, were responsible for the deaths of 9 people in the 1960s, including actress Sharon Tate and someone who was with the Maxwell House family. I loved how Brad Pitt did that movie where he kind of played like he saved them. Also, ladies and gentlemen, there were some other ones. The Elizabeth Short, Black Dollar, found beheaded, completely severed at the waist from 1947. That was one of the big cases there. They never found that. Now, my friend Randy Rocket Cody supposedly did. And I wouldn't disbelieve him in that. OJ and Nicole are together in heaven now. Oh, Randall, no. OJ's probably sitting there next to Hitler going, Hey guy, don't you take I see you got my watch on there. I see you're an O.J. Simpson football fan. Hitler's like, oh, I am a friend of yours, O.J. What you did to those 2 people were great. How, O.J.? Yep, he's sitting down there with her. I was sitting down there with him. I know you were joking there, Randall, but I had to take it and twist it up a little bit. Notorious P.I.G. Biggie, you're talking about? Yes, I'm talking about Biggie, Bolly. Ooh, wait. Oh, John Thomas Sweetie strangled the Poltergeist actress in front of her West Hollywood resident in 1986. He killed, supposedly, Dominic Dunn. He abused her, causing her to end, because they had a relationship, causing her to end the relationship of their abuse. He choked her in a fatal attack that later and died a few days later at age 22. Wow. That was one. I guess the girl that played not the youngest daughter, but the middle daughter, I guess anybody that was involved with Poltergeist, there's a lot of to it. So there you go. That's just a few of them this morning. We're going to take a break. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. Agent 206 is back. We'll have a few little news stories and stuff to come from you. Stay with us. Back after this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you dare move, because you never know what's going to happen. We get into period number 2. We got more true crime. We're going to talk about Garth Brooks more. We got to get into Garth Brooks a little bit more this morning. We heard that initially Garth Brooks was being sued by a former makeup artist for sexual assault. We know that he had a relationship 1 year ago. His current wife, Trisha Yearwood, sold her current home the day afterwards. He retaliated. He came back for a countersuit. Now there's more coming out about this. Let me tell you something, guys. I've been on the road. I've played in bands. I've done things. But I never did anything like that. If you've got so low self-esteem that you have to attack all the women around you, and you're not Brad Pitt, who's never been accused of that, because women actually throw themselves at Brad Pitt, then don't, just like some of my people were saying, he's a little bit like a doughboy. I know they're fat shaming the guy, but hey, don't be like Garth Brooks and do that. Back in a moment. We'll talk more about that next hour.
Some sweet Southern rewards. Check out the Southern Rewards Cashback account from Southern States Bank, where debit card transactions earn you cash back.
It is karma. He's getting it back. He shouldn't have. You got to keep your opinions to yourself, like Elvis Presley said. Elvis was like, I'll tell you what. Thank you for asking me that question. Why am I here in Las Vegas getting ready for my residency? I don't think I'm going to answer that political question. I do have my own political beliefs, but I don't think an entertainer should tell you who to vote for. Actually, Elvis did say that, for real. He did say that. That's why I respect Elvis Presley. I don't know which side he voted for. I don't care. I don't care who he voted for, who he was for. I'm glad that he respected us enough not to. Garth Brooks' ego got to him, Ryan. He thought he was a good little G. Yeah, he was. He did. The problem is, I've been around guys like that. A lot of these guys think that these women hitting on them, they think that the women backstage that are working for them are the same as the women that come to their shows and hit on them. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, come on. He's never been accused of doing something he wasn't supposed to do because the women that went for him liked it. 206, back and forth, laugh out loud. Tornado damaged spots in Fort Myers, Florida.
You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
News, I'm Tasha Stevens. After making landfall Wednesday night near Siesta Keys, a Category 3 storm with 120-mile-an-hour winds, Hurricane Milton is crossing Florida. Now it's a Category 1.
I hadn't got to that yet.
Caused by the storm is widespread. The roof on the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg was ripped off while housing thousands of first responders.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. Oh, his son is Eddie Van Halen's son is losing weight. They act like it's a big news story. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him.
Has been charged with witness tampering.
Let's see here. Pay off debt without loan. All right, I'm pulling it up now. Up there we go. Appreciate that, brother. Now, if he did say that, I think he should be disqualified for it. Oh, yeah. Daily Wire is pretty relevant. Isn't that Ben Shapiro's thing? I like him, so. I always thought he was funny when he went out and did the things with the college kids. I think he should be disqualified since he said that. I appreciate you sending that to me. For the calls for the Electoral College to be abolished, we need a national popular vote. Okay, I see. He wants to change it to a different thing, a national popular vote. Okay. Yeah, but we don't need to get rid of that. Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Ben Shapiro. I like Ben Shapiro. I know some people don't, but he's not a hateful person. I never heard anything bad come out of his mouth. I like how he just does his news stories like this, and he just talks like this. He's just a news guy. Yep, that's what some of them do. If Tim Walz is wanting that's wrong for him. I don't think.
The Anti-Semitism Observatory in Milan says the incident is an example of.
I don't appreciate him doing that.
In Italy, researchers say the number of incidents has risen.
Is that your governor, Tim Walz?
Last year, up from about 30 the week before. This is SRN News.
Like I said, him and J.D. Vance had their.
Is hospitalized.
Her family did not identify the hospital or where she suffered the stroke.
They had a good.
In her sleep.
Oh, I see.
Her husband Robert in 1968.
They were in California when they were talking about it. Okay, I see now.
Just after winning the Democratic presidential primary.
Maybe he was just saying that Patriot just to, to get those votes.
Her family says she's getting the best care possible in the hospital, resting comfortably, and is surrounded by family.
Hello, Christopher. How you doing this morning? Constitution will be next. I hope not. I hope not.
Over a massive 4-year-long data breach. The hack targeted Marriott Starwood system database. More details at srnnews.com.
Well, he was in California, so they were probably telling him what they wanted to hear. I played it every. Walsh wants to protect the Constitution, says Pamela. I see we got difference of opinion here. I love this. I'll talk a little bit about it. Won't get too much into it because this is True Crime Thursday, but I'll talk a little bit about this. Thank you for sending me, Patriot. Thank you, Pamela. You can get your opinion in there too. I want to hear everybody. We're going to show all these other radio shows. We're going to show all these other radio shows that people with different opinions can talk about it. That's what we're about to show.
NPR News in Washington. More than 3 million.
Christopher, where are you from this morning? Remember, I can't remember.
Continues moving across the state. The storm made landfall last night in Siesta Key near Sarasota.
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane. It's about 70 miles south of Tampa. Daylight will bring damage assessments along Florida's Gulf Coast and in other areas. In St. Petersburg, Milton heavily damaged the roof of Tropicana Field, home of Major League Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays. In addition, a large construction crane toppled into the building housing the Tampa Bay Times newspaper, leaving a gate.
You know what? You know what?
Tornadoes spawned by Milton are blamed for several.
That's been a lot of opinions there on that from what Martin has said.
In Florida, many more evacuated. Georgia's governor is pledging to send National Guard troops and other state resources.
A few people have that opinion too. I love all these different opinions here. That's what I really dig. Can I play with madness and a crystal ball? If you're Ozzy Osbourne, you can. What's up, Brazil in the house? What's up, Sylvia? I love this. I love this conversation here between the two of you. You see how Pamela and the Patriot are just difference in opinions and very respectful. I think majority of our country is like that anyway.
Situation in areas of Gaza amid the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. President Biden spoke with Israel's Prime Minister.
Pamela, come up with another point.
NPR's Michelle Kellerman says the two leaders discussed the war in Gaza.
I hope by the time I get on the air, I'll be able to see this stuff after I read a little bit about this news story here for you. Ooh, you guys will be back and forth.
Dire humanitarian situation in northern Gaza. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations.
Who is dying?
Says the Israelis have been.
Who is dying? Ozzy's not dying. Ozzy's gonna live forever. He bites the heads off of bats. Bite the head off of bats.
She's also expressing alarm about new evacuation orders, telling Palestinians.
Ozzy's like, well, Sharon.
Israel calls the humanitarian.
Yeah, the back and forth is cool. I appreciate that. Trump blatantly said he wants to kill the Constitution and be a dictator day one. Wow. Her daddy, that feed too. All right, we're going to talk about this a little bit. Not going to get much into it. I don't want to go too far into it. Because I want to make fun of Garth Brooks and get all the other true crime stuff in this morning. But we're going to talk about it thanks to a couple of my wonderful listeners here. I love that I've got informed listeners. It's a big difference in everybody else. It's like I was telling King yesterday when he was on. I was like, CNN and Fox, he said he appreciated me over them. I said, well, I appreciate that because CNN and Fox forgot what brought them to the table. Two things that brought them to the table. One thing is the people, and the second thing is just giving the news like I do. And then listening to the responses from our wonderful listeners. 50 degrees up there in Pennsylvania right now. Ozzy, he isn't doing well. Well, a lot of old people don't do well, Pete. We all can't run. We all, by the time we hit 70, won't be like Brother Martin on here. See, Jameson has kept Brother Martin going. Problem is, Ozzy don't drink that. He drinks bourbon. That was the problem.
Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDependence.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lewis Wing, and I'm a counselor that works here in the Metro Atlanta area.
His contract with Lucifer is up. Hey, I saw that on a Twilight Zone, I think. No, wasn't a Twilight Zone. That was, oh God, it's the devil or something with George Burns. Not George Burns. Yeah, it was George Burns, wasn't it? Yeah. Ellen Statesman that played God back in the movies, the number 3 movie. Wow. Everything other than Jameson is crap. See, that's what Martin's saying, and he's still running around like a young pup, guys. Zach Wild's Black Label Society. Ooh, he and Harris are for the people in the country, and he cares about everyone but Trump. All he cares about using the White House to get out of jail card free. Ooh, there we go. There's another point. Wow. George Burns, that's right. Yes. Thank you, Pamela. You know, I'm going to put this on the radio, so is that all right, Pamela? If not, we'll just leave it in the feed.
Our services are no cost, and all of our information is
I just want to get your permission. I know Patriot don't mind me saying it.
Sports and talk, the key in Georgia, and WZZV, Victory 100.3 FM, Gospel in LaGrange, Georgia. Be a part of the local church, local community.
Read what again? Ian Harris are for the people and care about is to get out of jail free card. Yes, indeed. Oh, we are. What's up, my munches? Welcome back in to RyanORadio Penitentiary. Any TV from a Mongol. All right, guys, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. It is 78,000 plus of you worldwide on that shoutcast. We're across the RyanORadio media page. which is getting out on 23 different platforms, streaming platforms, iHeartRadio, Amazon Prime, and Roku pretty soon. I'm going to be on Roku pretty soon. Also, we're across, ladies and gentlemen, 25 different radio stations, real and internet on the Navajo Nation of Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and we're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, across 99.1 FM WQEE Atlanta's home of inspirational talk, news, and Southern sports. We're across WZZV, Victory 100.3 FM in Lineville, WVEQ, Sunny at 98.7 FM, the brand new Sunny station in Lynette, Alabama that brings you yesterday's hits and today's hits and yesterday's favorites. And then Classic Gold, 90.5 FM WZEV in Lineville. Good morning, going out to our friends. We said hello to some of you. We're going to say hello to some more. We're going to say hello to over in Canada, Diana says South Wales, as well as Robert in Australia, down under. Kiko in Japan, konnichiwa. We'll say hello to Alice, David, Michael, and Tom up there as well. And that's just to name a few. Oh, Sarah Bear, we don't want to leave her. It's overnight there in Switzerland. We're going to do true crime news. We got some stuff to talk about. More we're going to give you the 15 shocking Hollywood murders and ask you our poll question in just a few moments. Plus, I got some information from my friend, the Patriot, from the Daily Wire. And Pamela's responding to that. And I'm going to wait and make sure I got her permission. Go ahead. Okay. Thank you, Pamela, to put on the air. I like to make sure I get permission. I don't just like to do like everybody else go, hey, it's just this person said that. You know, I do like to get permission because it's the proper way to show respect to others. I know that most of the other ones don't. Well, you're on my feed, so you can. So you're on this feed. So, all right. Before we get into that, which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders? Nicole Brown Simpson, 40%. The notorious B.I.G. Biggie, 15%. Sharon Tate, the Manson murders, 10%, and 35% for others. We'll get you some true crime coming up for you. But first, we got some headline news to start off with this morning out of Atlanta and all over the state in East Alabama and all over. But first, our first part is going to kick off. Let's do a couple of newsworthy notes, and then we'll get into this one, the Daily Wire. All right, ladies and gentlemen, headline news. Israel has so far refused to have details of their plan to retaliate against Iran, as Iran is attacking them now. U.S. officials say that even the White House don't even know what's going on with their closest Middle Eastern ally, as Iran's oil facilities and nuclear sites are being targeted by Israel. Former President Donald Trump breaks ahead of Vice President Harris in a must-win state poll in Pennsylvania. Trump is now up to 49% of the likely voters in one of the keystone states in this election coming up in November. Harris is supposedly 47% as we speak. Jessica Campbell made hockey history, ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesday, October 7th, becoming the first woman to appear behind the bench as a head coach in the NHL for the Seattle Kraken. Kraken kicked off a season with St. Louis Blues and didn't do too well. We got more details coming up for that. Waffle House has closed nearly 100 Florida locations ahead of Hurricane Milton. Pamela gave us some information earlier. Thank her as well from Pennsylvania about tornadoes hitting, and they were pretty heavy as before Hurricane Milton came through. Also, 1.6 million people were without power in the state of Florida this morning. And now Hurricane Milton has started dying down as it came to land. Also, ladies and gentlemen, two planes hit each other on the intersection of the taxiway at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. This happened on Tuesday morning, according to the FAA. The wing of the first plane clipped the wing of the tail of the smaller plane, which was headed to Lafayette, Louisiana. No injuries reported. Speaking of Lafayette, we're going to go to Lafayette, Alabama, as they will be holding an annual Women's Wellness Week beginning October 21st through the 26th. We got a couple other things we'll tell you that's going to go on, and that is some headline news for you this morning. All right, ladies and germs. Thanks to my friend, the Patriot. And if I'm not reading anything recent, guys, I'm trying to keep some responses on here so I can read them because we have so many responses there. And we got a good debate going on between the Patriot and Pamela from Pennsylvania, the Patriot from Virginia. Patriot sent me this over from the Daily Wire, which I do respect that a lot more than I do a lot of the other stuff that's out there, because whether you are Democratic or Republican or whatever, Ben Shapiro kind of tries to keep it down the middle the best he can. And he's also funny when he was attacking all the college kids a few years ago. I mean, that you got to give him that. According to this article, and this is Pamela's governor, but according to this article, not according to Ryan, but according to this article, Tim Walz calls for the Electoral College to be abolished. We need a national popular vote. He made the comment to donators at California Governor Newsom's home in Sacramento, California recently, as the road to the White House continues to November. Democratic Vice President candidate Tim Walz said on Tuesday that the Electoral College needs to go, forcing the Kamala Harris campaign to release this information. Democratic Vice President to release a statement saying it did not support abolishing the Constitution. Now, Kamala Harris said she did not support abolishing the Constitution for the presidential elections. Did she pick the wrong candidate? Some people are saying that about the former president as well as candidate. But I do know that Walz and Vance had a pretty respectful debate. The two campaign funds are on the West Coast. Walz called for abolishing the Electoral College, arguing that it forces candidates to focus too much attention on a handful of battleground states. Also, he thinks that they should own all the states. But, hey, it's always been like that, right? A few battleground states. I think all of us know that Electoral College needs to go. We need a national popular vote. He wants all states, I guess. So we need to win Beaver County, Pennsylvania. We need to be able to go to York, Pennsylvania and win. And we need to be in western Wisconsin and win. And we need to be in Reno, Nevada and win. At the event earlier on Tuesday, Walz told supporters that he is a national popular vote guy. That's not the world. That's not the world we live in. Following the Minnesota governor's call for the Electoral College to be abolished, the Harrison campaign said in a statement, Governor Wallace believes that every vote matters in Electoral College, and he is honored to be traveling the country in battleground state working to earn support for Harris-Walz ticket. So he was commenting to the crowd of strong supporters about how the campaign is built to win 270 electoral votes. So there you go. Now, the Patriot says he feels like that shouldn't be done. We've always had this. He feels like he's going against the Constitution. Pamela responds to that saying that she believes that Walz and Harris are for the people and for the country, and he cares about everyone. But she also feels that former President Trump only cares about using, let me go ahead and get this out of the way, using the White House as a get out of jail free card. And Patriots, the Electoral College is the fabric of our country. He's actually leading the polls by 1.5% other polls. Well, actually, according to, and it's a little bit higher than that, Patriot, according to what I found, he is leading 49% of the votes, period, in so far, with only 40%, 47%. I guess there's a percentage of people that have not got in there. He's close to almost 50% of the votes. Let's just say in Pennsylvania state, that's the former President Donald Trump, where Harris is a little bit lower than that right now in one of the battleground states. Maybe that's why this was brought up. I don't know. So. Roll Tide Randall feels like polling means nothing to him. And I understand. See, everybody has their own opinions, and that's what I get into, and everything. Thank you, Pamela, for your being able to put that out there. Thank you very much, Pamela from Pennsylvania. 50 degrees out there right now where she's at, and 55 where I'm at. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, and gooey things at all. Thank you, the Patriot in Virginia, for sending this over, and thank you for your opinion as well. You're not going to hear that on CNN and Fox, are you? You're not going to hear that on other shows. You're all a bunch of idiots. Only I know what I'm talking about. Let's do it, Randall. Let's me and you do the RyanORadio rampage together, bro. Only Randall and me know. I'm just kidding. Oh, Martin, you're a crazy old guy. You're all evil. Nah. Okay, maybe we'll get more likes on that, guys, if I start like putting you guys down. That's between me and you now. Oh, we went down to 44 there, Pamela. Oh, sister, I feel sorry for you. Ooh. Well, they're saying it's 64 in Atlanta, so we're at 63 degrees now. We went down. Martin says, I am Ryan. Laughing my ass off. Crazy old man. The silent majority has been the determining factor in the past, says Randall. There you go. 44 there in Washington State, 64 in Atlanta, 63 in Noonan, 65 in Lynette, Alabama, 63 in Lineville, and in Auburn, 66. There you go. LaGrange is holding it the same, 64 degrees. And in Washington, they're at 44 degrees, 44 in Pennsylvania, and over in North Georgia, it's a little cooler. But thank you, guys. 54 degrees in Oak Grove, Kentucky, says Matt. Good morning, Matt. Thank you. And I appreciate you guys. Now, I'm just saying that, Martin, is because I've seen other people with radio shows feel that they have to try to dominate their audience. And like I was telling some guy a week ago, he was like, well, a lot of people in your feed. I'm like, well, I don't agree with everything in the feed too, but it's not supposed to be that way. I mean, if we're going to agree, if everybody's supposed to agree with Ryan, then every one of you is supposed to be Metallica fans. And only Metallica fans. You can't like Ted Nugent, can't like Kid Rock, you can't like Taylor Swift, you can't like George Jones, none of you. You're only supposed to be Metallica fans. I don't know where some of these people get these ideas. I see a guy that's on the internet, he goes, thank you for letting me talk on my show, when they had him call in. I was like, dude, hitting the call in is what makes the show? I'm just old school, guys. I'm sorry, I'm old school. Listening is better for me. All right, 23 minutes past the hour, and it's still 64 degrees, beautiful sunny skies in Atlanta. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street there in Noonan. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, and gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. I'd love to start now with that little bit of discussion there. How many other shows are going to do that? That's probably why there's only a few people on the feed, but we have a lot of people over here. Pamela, them don't like you, then you don't like corn. No, I don't like corn. Only Metallica then. Pamela. No, I love corn. I love everybody. I love all rock and heavy metal music. And then you grow up in the South, you listen to old school country. And look, if somebody likes Taylor Swift, that's fine. It's good. It's being played on our Sunny 100 station, and people love it. People love Beyonce. Well, I don't know if they need to love her anymore. I know we're not playing no P. Diddy over there. Sorry, Bolly, but Hey, ABC, how you doing? But I love corn. Actually, I love corn, and Brian Head Welch is cool. He's my brother in Christ. And he's in that band. And there's a lot of metal guys that are Christian. Let me go through that right quick before we take a break. A lot of metal guys that are Christian. Nico Brain, drummer for Iron Maiden, Christian. Original guitar player for Anthrax, Danny. He's a Christian. Alice Cooper, he's a Christian. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, originally from Metallica, Christian. James Hetfield, now Christian from Metallica. So, yeah. Had to go through that. So, a lot of those are my brothers in Christ. Hey, PPP, what's up? Good morning, ABC. How you doing, brother? I appreciate you being with us. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about Garth Brooks names rape accuser in courts filing, claims woman is attempting to blackmail him. We'll get more into that. Crispy's, what's up? Morning, boss. How are you? Good afternoon to you. How you doing, Crispy? And Crispy's in London this afternoon. Hope you're doing great. All right, we're going to talk all about that. Let's see what also we're going to get into some more true crime. That's true crime. We'll get into some more true crime news, and we'll talk about some of these top true crime, most shocking Hollywood murders as well. And since we got that question, we'll go ahead and do that right quick. Some of the most shocking murders and everything. I'm all good, brother. Cheers. I'm glad you are. Which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders, ladies and gentlemen? Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. O.J. Simpson did it. I'm sorry, he did. 42% of the votes. Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace, 19% of the votes. Sharon Tate and the Manson murders, were they just innocent victims there because the guy that was producing the Beach Boys at the time lived there and moved out? 8% of the votes, or 31% for others. Hey, my Louisiana brother is in the house. Good morning to Curtis. How are you doing today, my friend from Atlanta, Georgia, from Louisiana, praying for Florida for sure. Continue to pray. They got 1.6 million outages this morning, and I know people are on their way to get them back up and running. God, I hope we don't get another storm anytime soon. They need to get back up and running because it's going to be cooled off pretty soon. And there is parts of Florida that get cooled off, just like there's parts of Nevada. People don't believe it. And there's Flagstaff, Arizona gets cold. Tell me I'm telling lies. And Captain Hot Buns will tell you I'm telling the truth about Flagstaff. And so hopefully they can get that done. 1.6 million out. They're saying it's going to take up to a week. And Florida Governor Ron Desatis last night got on the feed at 7:30 and told everybody, be prepared for it, hunker down. You're probably going to be out. Hopefully you got a week's worth of food. So there you go. All right. We asked you the poll question. Here we go. In 1997, Christopher Wallace, better known as Notorious B.I.G., Biggie, was shot to death in an SUV after leaving a party in Los Angeles. The artist's death came just 6 months after his rival rapper Tupac Shakur was gunned down in a similar fashion in Las Vegas, causing many to believe the attacks were linked. Many theories surround the death of both rappers, but no one ever has been convicted. Actually, someone came out for the Tupac one has been convicted. Yeah, they were supposed to be in rival gangs or whatever. But I don't think the Bloods and the Crips, maybe back then they went after each other. Today, there's just not as many. But that is one of them. The many murders in Hollywood. Wow. Scary to go. I'm going to go to Hollywood to become famous. Here's one of the other ones that's in the poll question. It's a murder that sparked the trial of the century. In June of 1994, football legend, movie actor O.J. Simpson was arrested for the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman, who were stabbed to death in Brentwood, California. The high-profile case dragged on and on. Many people couldn't watch Days of Our Lives or any of their soap operas. Remember when Bold and the Beautiful was interrupted? Because it was all three networks, NBC, CBS, and ABC. Ending with Simpson's 1995 being acquitted. However, in 1997, Simpson was found liable in the wrongful death suit in a civil lawsuit for the two by the Goldman family. In 2007, Simpson was convicted in an armed robbery case in Nevada, and it was currently in prison at the time until he got out in 2017. And of course, now O.J. Simpson is dead. Woo-wee. That's just some of them. Nicole Brown was a pro was a pro hit, okay, to the dumb. Good cup of coffee. I've got my good cup of coffee too this morning, my friend. We're going to take a break. Back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have more of this True Crime Thursday continuing. I'm going to give you some of the best information I can from the top 15 deaths in Hollywood as I'm asking you this poll question. Which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murder and murders? Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, 42% of the vote, leading right now. 30%, 31% going to any other. That includes the Hogan Hero star, as well as, he was actually in Arizona, but also George Reeves, the original Superman. Also Sharon Tate, 8% of the votes, and Notorious B.I.G. with 19% of the votes. Finally, he got 19. When we come back, we've got some more true crime throughout the morning. We'll talk about Garth Brooks. That is one that needs to be talked about. And Diddy. More Diddy news going out. OJ Diddy did it. Nicole Brown Simpson. That's right. Back in a moment. Nicole Brown. Probably shocking that Nicole Brown Simpson and all of them were, but they were all because who would ever thought that rich people would be murdered in Hollywood? You know how all those poor folks are so jealous of them. Oh.
75 winds light and variable. Clear skies and low near 46. Good high school football weather. Friday night lights, light and variable winds. Saturday mainly sunny. Beautiful day all day. High near 79. Light and variable winds. Going to be clear and cool on Saturday night. Low near 49. Winds light and variable. By Sunday, sunny skies. High near 83. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies for your Sunday night. Low near 58. Light and variable winds. That's your active weather forecast. Sponsored by Active Pest Control. 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or things at all. Michael the crew can exterminate and let us smack down.
Looking for the right bank to be your partner? Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. At Southern States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Our team is deeply rooted in the community. We take pride in providing personalized service. Come to Southern States Bank. Great service.
Here we go. Keep liking, subscribing, and sharing. Help a brother out with $, RyanShelander. And there's super chats in there you can help out too. I'm really working on a couple of big ones.
Are you looking for a dog trainer with positive reinforcement to help you bond with your new furry friends, or to have customized training in your own home, or wonderful group classes? Check out Pits and Pals on their Facebook page. Rosemary has extensive.
Had to get some coffee this morning. When I first got on, before I first got on, I was sitting here thinking I'm not going to be able to talk this morning. Then my voice came out as always. Good Lord's letting me do my thing.
Superior Gas Inland Net is your full-service propane dealer serving residential, commercial, agricultural, and recreational propane. They have a full selection of generators, heaters, gas logs, and fireplaces. They're located at 752 North Lanier Avenue in Lynette, Alabama. Open 9 to 5 daily.
Oh, woo! Pete's back! Woo! Welcome back, Pete. No, he don't got his gloves because Martin, I hid him from him. The only way you guys can find his gloves, Martin, don't tell him. It's under that bottle of Jameson over there. And Martin, don't take that Jameson off so he sees them. Mac and Molly, Mac and Mom. All right, beside you, Dad.
Saturday, October 26th. Jim Gossett from the Rob Carson National Talk Show. It's a laugh out loud night of top locality, impressions, and brand new parody songs. To decipher what Kamala just said, it could take several weeks.
Jim's such a funny guy.
October 26th at the Raleigh Point Grill in Woodstock. For tickets or more information, visit newsmakerline.com.
That's right. I got him hitting an office here.
That's 678-829-SHOW.
All right, we're getting ready to come back.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WVEQ. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show. Back McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country. Back McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WVEQ 99.1 FM.
Here we go. Like, subscribe, and share. Get everybody on. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and hell of a good night. It is still currently 64 degrees in the Atlanta markets, and we're holding at about 35 minutes past the hour. My voice is going to hopefully don't go out on me. It stays with me the remainder of the week. Because it's Thursday, True Crime Thursday. Tomorrow is Fun Friday, Freak News Friday, whatever you call Friday. We got this thing to do. The Patriot says, my boss called. Sorry, I did go back and hear the rest of the news you read. Awesome, Ryan. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's jump into this, ladies and germs. Welcome back in. Which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders? Nicole Brown Simpson, 42%. That's with Ron Goldman. Notorious B.I.G., 19%. Sharon Tate and Friends, 8%. Or any other at 31% of the votes. Hollywood had some very unusual. Since this True Crime Thursday, we're dropping this in there. And just a top story, a little news story that's coming out on True Crime News. Kim Kardashian of the Crazy Kardashians, one family that I will call out, and stuff that did to all those men that were in their lives and still ruined most of those men's lives. That's all I'm going to say is I don't mind her biting to help people that have been in prison for something that they probably didn't commit or comes find out. But she is pushing with a lot of other people to get the Mendez brothers, the two guys allegedly that killed their parents back in the day. And it's alleged the father was hardcore. Of course, he was from like another country, Cuba. He's a father, boom, boom, boom. A lot of times that some of our dads were a little hardcore back then. But they murdered, they admitted to murder, and now they're trying to get out of jail. So I don't get it. So Kim Kardashian's pushing for it. Oh, Daniel is with us again. And Pamela's with us again. Hello to everybody tuning in. Sweet Leaf's like, man, this is the most exciting show in a long time. We appreciate all that information, Ryan. Sue says, you know what? I'm going back and looking up some of these stories as I'm listening. She says, wow. Well, here's another one. Rebecca Schaefer. She was an actress on a show called My Sister Sam back in the 1980s, late 80s, I should say. July 18th, 1989, she was a star of that My Sister Sam show. She was murdered in the doorway of her home by a fan who had been stalking her for 3 years. Robert John Bardo was the guy, had found her home address through the DMV. He was sentenced to life in prison. After her death, California law changed to prevent the DMV from releasing private addresses. Wow. Just think back in the end, they released your private address, not Cuban. No. Where was he originally from? If that's where he wasn't. I'm just saying fathers were like they were back then. Wow. Martin, do you remember when they could release your address, the DMV, to anybody? Before the 1980s? Wow. Linda Sobek, the murder of the model and former Los Angeles Raiders cheerleader, haunted the headlines in the late 1996. A photographer by the name of Charles Radenbun received a life sentence for sexually assaulting and killing the 27-year-old. He confessed to police and led them to a shallow grave in the Los Angeles National Forest where her body was recovered. Wow. Here's one that is unknown as probably part of the any other, ladies and gentlemen. Not this guy. What? Who you talking about? Who you talking about? Not this guy. Daniel. You. Armenian is what it was. Thank you, Randall. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, still, hardcore father. Yeah, I appreciate you throwing that in there for me, Roll Tide Randall. Thank you, brother. October 27th, 1998, Phil Hartman's wife reportedly shot the comedian twice while he slept. Police say she confessed to friends following the shooting, claiming a fight with her husband earlier in the evening had angered her. When police arrived, they assessed the situation and arrested her. Not arrested her, she took her own life. Sorry. And I know Phil Hartman was on news radio when this happened, and they took his character, and his character supposedly killed himself. $ RyanShelander, thank you for doing that. That, man, we're going to have them throughout the morning. That was one that ladies and gentlemen, didn't really know. I thought he had, in real life, had killed himself. I didn't really pay attention to Phil Hartman, the Saturday Night Live comedian, the guy that was on news radio and everything. There you go. Elizabeth Short is the one you're talking about, Creepy Confidential. She said was by far the most gruesome and shocking and unsolved. Ooh, there it is. True. That's true. That's one of. Now these are in Hollywood. Now we're not just talking across the country, but Hollywood. So Bob Crane, who played Hogan's Hero star, he was killed in Arizona, of course. But the Hogan Hero star, his gruesome murder was never solved. So we'll get a few more of these this morning since it is true crime, and that is our poll question this morning. Citizen Kane. I donated. Who can donate with me? Oh, thank you for donating, Matt. Please tell him to donate. Thank you. Helps a brother out. But I didn't know Phil Hartman's wife. I always assumed, and I never went back and did it. I always assumed, you know what assumed does, make an ass out of you and me, and it made an ass out of me. I always assumed that he killed himself because they portrayed that on the show that his character did, and I didn't know his wife did. I don't know what kind of argument they had, but any kind of drugs and alcohol is a hell of a thing to go through. Oh yeah, and he was on the game show Family Feud. You're talking about the other guy that was on Family Feud that played the Englishman, Richard Dawson. Yep, he had a strange murder too. There was a lot of them to him. We're going to talk about a few of these too. I still got a few of them in here. Hollywood murders. Wow. I think did Richard Dawson kill himself? Same thing. Unsolved death of Graham Parsons. Yep. Bob Crane beaten beyond. Yeah, he was beaten beyond. They were not able to recognize him whatsoever. Yeah. So there you go. 15 minutes away from the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little bit of recent true crime stuff we'll talk about, and we'll get back to some of that because our poll question is up. Richard kissed more ladies than any other game show host did. Shoot, when he was on what show was that? It was another show where gosh, I can't remember it. It's always on the Buzzer Network, which is an affiliate on our WQMK TV station that we have in Auburn, Alabama. Match Game. The Match Game is what I was thinking of. That's it. So there you go. He kissed them all on there. All right. Garth Brooks is in the news. He's got friends in low places, and he keeps on trying to defend himself. The country music legend has named the woman. He's named the woman who accused him of rape while claiming he is the victim of a shakedown. The country music superstar filed a complaint in Mississippi U.S. District Court. In a file, Brooks identified his accuser, but for reporting purposes, the name of the sexual assault victim or alleged sexual assault victims are typically not released unless they come forth publicly. So we are not going to release that name either. He publicly did that to try to embarrass her. Garth Brooks. I'm going to tell you something. About this guy. That was very disrespectful right there. The Gong Show is another one. Yeah, there's a good one. He was very disrespectful right there, ladies and gentlemen. By doing that, you're not supposed to do it unless she comes out now and says it. Now, this is a makeup artist, and supposedly the reason Garth Brooks' first marriage fell apart, and that one song was, he's talking about coming home at night, a thunder rose. That was a song about him cheating on his wife. Okay. He cheated on his wife with a makeup artist. Now, this is not the same makeup artist. I do not believe it's the same makeup artist. I'm like, so it's another one he went after. And I remember him doing this years ago. I remember him being accused of doing this with a makeup artist. And that's what caused him to have his marriage fall through. So now he's really trying to get her name out there to embarrass her and say, oh, I'm being shook down. I'm being shook down. What about a little game show host that was an actual CIA hitman, Ryan? Who was that? Let me know. Was it the guy on the dating game? Because I know that one of the serial killers was on the dating game. Wow. So there you go. Garth Brooks, man. What's up? What's up, Garth? You just trying to get out of paying? And Trisha Yearwood has sold her home. So I don't know what's going on here. Oh, the Gong Show host was the guy that was a CIA hitman. That's pretty damn cool. Like it or not, like it or not, that was pretty damn cool. I liked that. Game show host by day, hitman by night. Sounds like a movie. I found the Monsters free on Roku app. Love this show. Love the Monsters too. Dun, 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 dun. Typical American family patriot. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to get into Rockdale, Georgia a little bit. Rockdale, Georgia a little bit. We'll talk about what's going on over there. Just a shame because everyone idolized him in this day and then boom, fell apart. That is true, creepy, confidential about Garth Brooks. But you know what? A lot of them are doing it. A lot of these people do this kind of stuff. Like I told people earlier, I've been on the road. I played with Green Jelly. I played with a Christian rock band in the past, drums. And I've seen a lot of people in life act up. And like I always say, you're probably never going to hear anybody accuse Brad Pitt. Sorry, gentlemen. Brad Pitt was just a stud back in the day. And he didn't need anybody's help. He didn't go to Diddy's parties like Leonardo did. But he really didn't need anybody to help him. Yeah. So there you go. But anyway, I'm just using an example until something bad comes out. But so yeah, Garth Brooks, it's a shame. And I knew back in the day he was cheating on his wife a lot of times. Of course, it was country music back then, so people are like, hey, he wrote a song about cheating on his wife. But I don't know if this – I'm still not sure. I'm not sure if this is the same woman that he had supposedly had an affair with, makeup artist. That's what happened years ago. Back in a moment. Thank you guys for all the feedback there on the page. Like, subscribe, and share. And do like Matt says, help a brother out, $, RyanShelander. Also, continue to grow the show. We're growing on the YouTube. Back in a moment. We got 78,000 plus of you shoutcast, shouted out loud, and on a bunch of different radio networks now. Back in a moment. Creepy Confidential, we're going to have to get you on one morning.
States Bank, where debit card transactions earn you cash back. With our Southern Rewards cashback account, you can earn up to $30 a month. Sign up for your Southern Rewards cashback account today. Terms and conditions apply. Visit your nearest branch and check us out online at southernstatesbank.net to learn more. Southern States Bank, your bank, your rewards. Housing under FDIC and MLS number 410611.
Keep your home safe with home scan inspections. Our licensed and accredited professionals know exactly what to look for in order to prevent.
Yes, there is, old monster. There's like a couple of them with the original cast. I think like, you know, they've had two separate Marylands monsters, season 1, season 2. And then they had another all new girl when they went over to London or somewhere. You're still mentally on the Gong Show. You know that band I played in, Green Jello, that's where they got their start, was on the Gong Show. The original crew.
Support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforest.org or follow us on Facebook.
It's the last carnival of 2024, Lynette Fall Festival, presented by Jordan Communications in the Old Mill Parking Lot, Lynette, Alabama, November 12th through the 17th. Pre-admission, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday.
Did they get gonged? I think they did get gonged. But it got them soft. They got gonged, but people still liked them. I have to go back and look at it. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I'm gonna check that movie out, Randall. I really want to see that about the Gong Show hitman host. That's really pretty damn cool. I wish I could be a radio show host by day and a hitman by night. I'm just kidding. I don't want the YouTube shutting me off. I was just joking, YouTube. I was just joking. That would be pretty cool, though, for real, guys. I'm going to check that out. Thank you, Randall, for putting that movie in there. It'd be a great cover. That's right. Creepy. Confidential. If my military school best friend was still alive, he would have loved to go. He's the one that turned me on to the rock bands in the late 90s. Oh, in the mid 90s. Oh, I wish he was too, but God bless him. Gail George, Gail is on with us. Gail is on. Gail's always on, guys, just to let you know. She just shares the stuff 100 million places. Thank you. You sent me a letter in the email. I'll check it out, brother. Oh, I want to blow my eardrums. We got more true crime for you on this True Crime Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. Gail from the Zoo Crew up in Tennessee. ABC, of course, is with us. 1, 2, 3. Creepy Confidential has joined us this morning. Miss Cher from Iowa is on. She just came on. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Pamela has welcomed everybody in too. And there you go. Jim H is up in the house. All right, we're going to talk about Rockdale County and what happened there in Georgia coming up in the next period. Plus, I'll get you a couple of true crime events that went on recently. And well, we're doing a poll question this morning, pretty cool poll question. Which of these were the most shocking Hollywood murders of all times? Nicole Brown Simpson, 42% of the votes. B.I.G., the notorious B.I.G., Biggie, 16%. 13% going to Miss Sharon Tate, and 29% going to others, which include some of the ones we were talking about earlier. Here's one that I brought up too, Bob Crane, better known as Colonel Hogan on Hogan's Heroes. Now, this didn't happen in actual Hollywood, but it's still an unsolved homicide to consider out of Hollywood. It happened in Scottsdale, Arizona. Through his death, though his death didn't actually technically occur in LA, TV actor Bob Crane's murder is considered one of Hollywood's biggest mysteries. In the late 1970s, 1978 to be exact, in June, the Hogan's Hero star was found beaten and strangled to death in his Scottsdale, Arizona home. At the time, the small police department was ill-equipped to tackle the case of this, and with little evidence and motivation to go on, the case still was officially unsolved. I still feel it was the guy that became his friend, that Bob Crane was, him and this guy was kind of doing OnlyFans before OnlyFans was even a thing. And then Bob decided, well, I done lost my marriage. I've got to take care of my kids. I lost 2 marriages. He lost his first marriage. He lost his second marriage. He married the second girl that was playing the secretary on Hogan's Heroes. He married her. When they replaced the girl on the secretary, if you watch Hogan's Heroes, because I know Martin remembers all this, so he actually knows. So, but anybody, you got to go check it out. He married her and he lost her because of this. And he told the guy, hey, I'm done with this because I lost my second marriage. And he was trying to get his second wife back. And boom, he ends up dead. There you go. Also, Phil Spector, record industry tycoon, found guilty of murder in the second degree in the Lane Clarkson death. In 2003, the actress was found dead in his home in California, and 2 trials sentenced him to jail, and he's currently in a 19-year life sentence. He should be getting out pretty soon then, right? Phil Hartman, we talked about him earlier too. His wife killing him, yes. Remember the guy on SNL, guy shot by his wife, she killed herself? Phil Hartman. We talked about that just a few moments ago there. Yep, you're exactly right. All right, we're going to continue to drop in some of these with some true crime news this morning.
SRN News, I'm Tasha Stevens. After making landfall Wednesday night near Siesta Keys, a Category 3 storm with 120-mile-an-hour winds, Hurricane Milton is crossing Florida. Now is a Category 1 with 90-mile-an-hour winds. The damage caused by the storm is widespread.
No.
The roof off Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg is ripped off, housing thousands of first responders.
And we all forget one person. What about Marilyn Monroe? There was a
has been charged with witness tampering and destroying evidence in a sweeping federal investigation that led to Mayor Eric Adams' indictment. Adams is accused of taking bribes and illegal campaign cash from foreign interest. Mohammed Bahi, who received money as the mayor's liaison to Muslim communities, faces accusations including deleting phone communications with Adams. The mayor praised Bahi for his community work but steered clear of the latest allegations.
He has attorneys handle his case.
Adams, who is pleaded not guilty, is vowed to stay in office and seek re-election next year. I'm Roy Hall.
Also at SRNnews.com, Google may be forced to sell parts of its business.
In a court filing, federal prosecutors also said the judge could ask the court to open the underlying data Google used.
What was not a suicide? Oh, you're talking about Maryland? Yep. I'm going to check your thing out in a minute, ABC. I got too many things up right now.
This is SRN News.
WQEE 99.1 FM noon and WZZV 100.3 FM Flood Range, WVEQ 98.7 FM Lynette, WZEV 90.5 FM Lineville, Jordan Communications.
Yep.
This
Of it.
message comes
She
from
died. Yep. I think somebody, I've always felt like somebody did something to her. She knew too much on everybody.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Dave Mattingly. More than 3 million homes and businesses in Florida are without power as Milton continues moving across the state. The storm made landfall last night at CS.
Martin says feels like CIA got her. Well, it's because she was dating a couple of
damage assessments along Florida's Gulf Coast and
Kennedys. You forget about Robert Wagner and his wife that died in a boating accident. Forget her name. That's another one. These are all Hollywood deaths, of course.
East Coast tornado spawned by Milton are blamed for several deaths in the Fort Pierce area. Thousands of people remain in shelters in Florida, many more evacuated. Georgia's governor is pledging to send National Guard troops and other state resources.
Natalia? Natalie, what's her name? I don't know. I have to look that up.
Benjamin Payne with Georgia Public Broadcasting has more from Savannah. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says he expects only minimal damages.
Natalie Wood. Okay.
15,000 Georgians are still without power after Milton 2 weeks ago. But Kemp said the state should be able to free up resources to help Florida.
If we're needed here, we'll stay here, take care of our folks first. But with the amount of power we have coming back on, people's water coming back on, grocery stores opening back up, we've been able to pull back some of our guard resources so we can redeploy them if needed to Florida.
Many hotels in Georgia have no vacancy.
Way to go, Brian Kemp.
Tens of thousands of evacuees from Florida. For NPR News, I'm Benjamin Payne in Savannah.
PR. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Time for your East Alabama West Georgia weather forecast, sponsored by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton.
I was typing Natalie Wood. Norma Jean, that was her name, real name.
Winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, high near 78. Clear skies tonight, light and variable winds with a low near 48. Going into your Friday, beautiful sunny skies all day long. High near 75, winds light and variable. Clear skies and low near 46. Good high school football weather. Friday night lights, light and variable winds. Saturday, mainly sunny. Beautiful day all day. High near 79, light and variable winds. Going to be clear and cool on Saturday night. Low near 49, winds light and variable. Sunday, sunny skies. High near 83. Saturday,
There you go.
skies for your Sunday night. Low near 58, light and variable winds. That's your active weather forecast, sponsored by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down. Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your home. Offering both monthly and quarterly pest control.
What did he do?
Plus,
Kemp said that they're going to deploy, they're going to send people down to Florida to help them out in the aftermath, since we're taking care of our people and there's a lot of ours is coming back on and we got some extra help.
best termite coverage around.
You're not a traitor, Pete.
34 Jefferson Street, Newton. 770-954-9941.
Ready to earn some sweet Southern rewards? Check out the Southern Rewards Cashback account from Southern States Bank, where debit card transactions earn you cash back. With our Southern Rewards Cashback
Don't be
account,
talking bad about Pete.
$30 a month. Sign up for your Southern Rewards Cashback account today.
I'm messing with you.
Conditions apply. Visit your nearest branch or check us out online at southernstatesbank.net to learn more. Southern States Bank, your bank, your rewards. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, and MLS number 410611.
Considering a career in real estate, at Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners, we prepare you to excel in your real estate career by providing award-winning training, family-based.
Oh, you might not make it here on Monday. That'd be all right. I was sending guards. Yeah, we'll be sending what we can, but we got to finish up our state. Well, ABC, it's not going to offend me, brother, if you can't be here on Monday. I appreciate that you sending me that letter and letting me know.
Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton.
But if you have something you have to do,
Chicken around, fish dinners. Open
I understand.
Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Is
I would rather for you to be here, but I understand.
Former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31
the
Jackson Street.
ABC pay Ryan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bruce Wing, and I'm a
The real ABC should pay. Real ABC network should pay me.
As a counselor, contact me if you need my services at
They wouldn't put me on Patriot. Like, wait. You don't want to be one-sided. You want to hear everybody's opinions.
If you're in need of counseling services, please reach
out. Yeah.
In-person and online services are available.
It's the last carnival of 2024, Lynette Fall Festival, presented by Jordan Communications in the Old Mill parking lot, Lynette, Alabama, November 12th through the 17th. Pre-admission, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Merry-go-rounds, family, kid, and adult rides, wristbands night. Lynette Fall Festival, presented by WQEE, WZZV, WVEQ, November 12th through the 17th. Be there.
I don't lean at all. I just don't like getting into the not conspiracy, but I don't mind the conspiracy side because it's cool if everybody wants that. I just don't like the name calling side. I try to I know that I can't do any of these jobs, so why? I mean, any of these jobs, even obviously some of them can't do them either. But that's why it is. I try to not be. I just respect people. Well, you just respect people. I just don't want to be like all these other people out here that's trying to dog everybody for their different beliefs. But you're middle to me. Thank you, Patriot. It's I lean a little bit of conservative. Well, I'm probably old school, but.
You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, the key in Newnan, Georgia.
Here we go. We're coming back. Yeah, ABC, you can watch the show later. Goes good with spaghetti dinner. Oh, our good friend Gail is telling ABC, who can't be live with us on Monday, that to watch the show later, it goes good with a spaghetti dinner. Hey, there you go. Have a little wine on the side if you want to. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night for those that are tuning in everywhere. Also, we got 78,000 plus of you on the Shoutcast. We're across the RyanORadio media page, 22 to 23 different streaming platforms there, including iHeartRadio and Amazon Prime. We're across the British Columbia, Isles of Canada, and finally, ladies and gentlemen, we're across Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation with 25 real and internet radio stations there. We're on Jordan Communication of Family radio stations. Our head station, 99.1 FM WQE the Key here in the Metro Atlanta area, Newnan. We're at Gold 90.5 FM in Lineville. Good morning to the crew over there, Liz and everybody. Good morning to them. They're an hour behind, of course. We're over on WZZV. That's the Gold station, 90.5. WZZV Victory 100. Good morning, Pastor Clyde and his gospel train coming up for you in a few. Also, we're over on Lynette, Alabama's WVEQ, sunny 98.7. Today's hits and yesterday's favorites, Ben in the afternoons. There's all great programming everywhere. So there you go. It's True Crime Thursday, and we've got some true crime news stories we're going to get into from East Alabama, West Georgia, and more, and around the country. So we'll appreciate you guys being with us. Hello, Sue, Sweetleaf, and gang from Gail. Gail says, Sweetleaf says, about time you talk to us. You got new friends, and you don't talk to us anymore. Crying emoji over here. Gail, you done made Sweetleaf feel sad. He says, just joking. Sue says, no, I'm not joking. That's my sister from another mister, and she's forgot all about me till now. Bob says she always forgets about Tim and me. Tim says, isn't that right? Gail's like, puff, 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 passing it over to you to calm you down. Alice in Canada says, what about Miguel? All our other feeds are getting involved. You got new friends on the YouTube, Gail, and now they feel like they're being left out. In Canada on the Navajo Nation. Only 71 subs to go. Make some shorts with trendy music. You'll have them in a few weeks. I'll do that, brother. I will do that. Bob, Tim, and Alice, hello. Puff, puff. There you go. Alice says, yay. Thank you, sister. Tim says, too late now for me. Bob says, no response. I'll read the lateral moment. All right, brother, I'll get to that in a few moments. Hi, Bolly says Cher from Iowa. You know who I want? I've been telling everybody that I love, and for you guys who don't know, you might not like this, but I do think that Cher's got a pretty good governor as well over there in Iowa. I think she needs to run for president in a few years. I think we're going to see Walz and Vance run in the next one, though. Maybe DeSantis, you never know. We're talking about 2028, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, let's jump back into it. Which of these is the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders? 44% are saying Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Notorious B.I.G.'s got 16% of the votes. Sharon Tate and friends being murdered by the Charles Manson crew, 12% of the votes. And any other, which is some of the ones I'm reading this morning, 28% of the votes. Pete says, Sweet Leaf and gang, I had the money. If I had the money, I'd come to the Navajo Nation and visit. Sweet Leaf says, respond to that. Sweet Leaf says, well, if you got the money, you just got to raise, buddy. But he's got bills to pay. Sweet Leaf. Bob says, yep, come visit us. Patriot says, I want Ted Cruz 2028 and Rand Paul ticket. That's not a bad ticket. Now, Pamela, who on the Democrat side do you think would be good? I know Pamela's still listening. Who do you think on the Democrat side would be 2028? Who do you think would be good? I like to get everybody's opinion. I know Pamela's still here. 1.6 million people without power. It might be up to a week in Florida after Hurricane Milton hit. We'll talk more about that and everything. So I'd like to see, that'd be Cruz and Paul, and who would be their opponents on the Democratic side. I'm going to let Pamela tell me that when she comes up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, more for me, old by Marianne Williams. Okay. All right, let's see here before we get into some other stuff. And we got a few more left of these that I'm reading off this morning. Actor Robert Blake was found not guilty of the murder or conspiracy to murder his wife, Bonnie Lee Blake, in 2001. After having dinner at the City, California restaurant, Bonnie Lee Blakely was shot waiting in Blake's car. The case is still unsolved. Ooh. Ooh. William Taylor, too. Here's another one. In February of 1922, a silent film director and actor was found dead in his West Lake, California apartment. Taylor had been shot in the back. Many suspects were named at the time, but with the crime scene being tampered and missing murder weapon, Taylor's murder was never officially solved. So there you go. That's a few of them right there. Right there. That's all I got to say. Still to come, we're going to talk about the Rockdale community calling for their leaders to be held accountable for the biolab. Had to go to a meeting, Martin. I'll be back. Ooh, I have to go to a meeting, be back. Yes, Bali. That's another one. Deal. All right, let's see here. Ooh, it's time to get into some true crime. 770-347-9947. Creepy, if you're still on, give us a call. There you go. All right, let's head over to a couple of headline news / of course, true crime news stories, ladies and gentlemen. In Bessemer, Alabama, a judge has sentenced a 65-year-old man to 20 years in prison after he confessed to killing his girlfriend back in 2001. Leaving her remains in a suitcase and burying them in the woods. Man, so many people are crazy. His name is Brian Edward Jones. He pleaded guilty to the murder of Janet Loxford on Monday, October 7th, as a part of a plea deal. Prosecutors dropped the charge of abuse of the corpse. He was sentenced to 21 years behind bars for the murder of Luxford. Bessemer Police Chief told the WBRC TV that on March 27, 2002, Jones took a bus from South Carolina to Birmingham area, and he sat outside our station until he finally got up the nerve to give us a call. I guess he had ran to South Carolina. According to Alabama.com, February 18, 2001, he reportedly hit her in the throat with a golf club, which led to her death, and then he confessed to burning the body and mutilating. Good Lord Almighty. Some people are just plain out sick. That happened in Alabama. A couple other headlines for you. Kim Kardashian and other celebrities joined together in a cause to free the deadly Mendez brothers. I said that earlier. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say about some of these people. Except for they're just crazy it all out. In Indiana, a crazy man did something. Gibson County, Indiana, to be exact, a 42-year-old man is in custody on suspicion of killing his wife with a hammer, placing her remains in a vehicle and driving into the river. Daniel Flaharty reported that his wife, Kayla, went missing, 36-year-old woman missing on October 3rd. Old Daniel said his wife was on her way to her mother's house, but never made it. However, investigators reportedly received cell phone records indicating that she did not drive towards her mother's residence. He and his wife reportedly were in the middle of a divorce in the time of the victim's death. And they can't find Heather's phone on Young and the Restless, and they did this in real life. Come on. This guy has been arrested without a bond on October 4th, the next day, Gibson County Jail, and he remains there on charges of murder. Wow. Some crazy people in this world. Man, oh man. Oh, I'm going to do that one. That's a little too. Some of these I'm just going to put on the radio station page and on the Facebook page on RyanORadio Penitentiary too, and let you guys read for yourself because they're a little too gruesome for airwaves for me. Ooh. Little too gruesome. Little too gruesome for that. Wow. Speaking of calls, how's that international? I'm working on it as we speak, brother. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it to where I can hook it up to and everything. I'm talking to several people about that. We'll try to get one set up for you, brother. And I'll let you know as soon as possible, buddy. I definitely want to hear from you and all of you outside of the country. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Investigators recently identified a Goose Creek, South Carolina homicide victim whose remains were found in 1977. 3 years later, she disappeared after that. Jane Doe was her name, And investigators had a serial killer by the name of Samuel Sam Little, who admitted to strangling the unknown woman after they met at a nightclub. Her name was Lola Bryant, 51 at the time. A 21-year-old Austin, Texas man is behind bars for killing his grandparents on September 21st for a capital murder. His name is Kyler Monginhan. And Kyler was nonchalant about it when the police came in. Nonchalant about it. Oh, Kyler, what an idiot. 21-year-old killed his grandparent and didn't even have a reason why. No abuse, no nothing. But give him about 20 years, Kim Kardashian will try to get him out. Goose Creek, I was stationed there. You was in Goose Creek. Woo, woo. Do you remember Bonnie and Clyde crime spree? I do remember. I wasn't around that time, Matt, but I do remember that crime spree. Ooh-wee. I was watching something on Got Gotti I'm going to watch on Netflix. That's something I got to watch to talk about on a Thursday. Plus, I'm going to be watching, I told you guys about the Manhattan alien abduction of the woman in New York City. It's coming out later on October 30th. I got to check that out and tell you my thoughts on it too. So there's several things. We already talked about the McMahon thing. It was so big that other people went and watched it. People listened to the show, went and watched it. People don't even watch wrestling, went and watched it. 1933, she was 23 years old. He was 25. And one of them was married to I think she was married to somebody else or something like that. Yeah. I told you about it, the Manhattan alien abduction that happened to a single mom up in New York City in Manhattan. Supposedly, and so many people said she faked this. So I'm going to watch this and see what information I can get from both sides. 770-347-9947. What is going on with Toothy today? What's going on with Lil Z? Did I not see? Lil Z, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Sorry I've been late. I've had a bad day. We'll pray for little Toothy. Little Z, we're praying for you to have a better day the rest of the day. In Jesus' name, amen. Praying over our friend in London, young lady. Tired of the storyline with Sharon and YNR. Be glad when they're done with Sharon being crazy and murdered Heather. Yeah, I think it's all in her mind. I think she's in a mental hospital right now. They're going to revamp it. Yeah, she was married and he was as well. I couldn't say that on the air. Yeah, they were both married. That's what I thought. Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. All right. Let's see what else we got true crime-wise. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Before we go to the break, authorities, guys, in Texas have arrested. Authorities in Texas have arrested an art teacher who's doing more than art projects at the school. That's right. Authorities in Texas have recently arrested a 51-year-old art teacher on suspicions of engaging in sexual relations with a male juvenile student, Jennifer Mosley of Davenport High School. She was arrested on October 3rd for engaging in that sexual conduct with an underage victim. She wasn't smiling. She was an art teacher, yes. She was an art teacher indeed. Yes. I'd love for you to call in. I'm going to take a break. Slay that number slowly. Well, I was going to say it just like this. Get it in a minute. I'm like the micro guy. You know, all the micro cars in the world. Yes, I'm going to say that in a minute. We're going to take a break, and I'll give you the quote number there. Creepy, confidential. But there you go. Yes, an art teacher. All these women keep on wanting to get with these young guys. They don't even know what they're doing, ladies. Why are you getting with them? Oh, that's why they've got the Blue Chew now, guys. Get your man Blue Chew what's her name? Massey? What's her name? Jennifer Massey. You should have got your man Blue Chew and you wouldn't have had them mess with a young child. God, is sick. No wonder parents out there like, I don't want my kids going to school. No wonder these parents are saying that. Don't trust anything at school anymore. We'll be back in a moment. Michael Carr commercial. I missed the 1980 commercial. I tell you what, you can make it. Got a car. I'll tell you what's the most powerful micro machines around. All the micro machines around. So yeah, I can do all kind of voices. Back in a moment. Tell them, Forrest. This is Forrest Gump telling you. Stay tuned. More RyanORadio Penitentiary after this. Jenny, you got breakfast ready for me and little Fast? I shall do, Fast. All right. Mama from Greenbow, Alabama says good morning to all of you folks. And keep tuned to RyanORadio Penitentiary. It's 770-347-9947. 770-347-9947. Run, Foss, run. I'm going to run. They're not going to get me, Jenny. I'm from Greenbow, Alabama. I used to watch that movie with a buddy back in college. Man, we know every scene. Like I said earlier, we know every scene. The scene where Jenny was going to jump off the balcony at the hotel with the drug-induced guy sitting on the bed. In the background, there was a clear pearl drum set. Nice drum set. So there you go. Thank you very much, Matt. So we used to watch that all the time. We used to go, Mama said. My mama used to tell me all the time. That's all we did in band rehearsals. With the other band members come in and go, what is wrong with Ryan and Double J? I'm like, Mama told me to tell you, you're not playing that guitar too right. You got to play along with the other guitar player, Double J, and that bass part needs to be a little bit lower. RyanORadio DNA. Woo-hoo. What's up, how much? I need to keep you from my butt. Hey. Used to do Rocky Balboa too. Used to do Sylvester Stallone. Adrian. I did Bob Dylan too. Hey, how you doing? And Carl, I reckon got some mustard and biscuits. I reckon. French fried taters. Oh, wow. We have a lot of Spanish people in the chat, Mexican people. Yep. From other countries.
Are you looking for a dog trainer with positive reinforcement to help you bond with your new furry friends, or to have customized training in your own home, or wonderful group classes? Check out Pits and Pals on their Facebook page. Rosemary has extensive certification in dog psychology.
Bali, you're probably drinking some vodka right now, aren't you, buddy? I'm just kidding. He said, no, that's going to be a little later with lunch.
For more information, Rosemary wants to remind you to adopt, don't shop,
Martin.
save a life at Coweta County Shelter today.
I knew it.
Not only cares about your teeth, but is friendly to work with. How about one that offers great deals and new patient promotions? Well, your search is over. Most valuable smiles in downtown Eatonton, Georgia.
All right. We're coming back here in a moment, so if you want to go ahead and call now, creepy. Let's get creepy this morning.
Most valuable smiles veneer special includes Most Wanted by taking advantage of an exclusive $100 off Zoom whitening treatment when you book today. Most Valuable Smiles in downtown Eatonton to lock in these exclusive deals. 706-623-0318 or visit mostvaluablesmiles.com.
It's the last carnival of 2024, Lynette Fall Festival.
No, not that, Bob.
Through the 17th readmission, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Merry-go-rounds, family, kid, and adult rides, wristband night. Lynette Fall Festival presented by WQEE, WZZV, WVEQ.
Uh-oh. That's what Martin speaks right there. That's him. Now he speaks English, Spanish, and that body language is that look he gives you. Hello?
Good morning. This is Creepy Confidential.
Hey, Creepy, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I was listening into your true crime this morning, and I was like, hey, I got a couple cases.
All right, well, we'll come back. Hold on a second. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. About 31 minutes past the hour, 65 degrees in the Atlanta metro Atlanta area. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. You hear the unsolved mystery music in the background. This is a great thing to bring in Creepy Confidential. Good morning.
Good morning. For all of listening, I am Noelle. I am with
Noelle.
Creepy Confidential.
That's
I'm
right.
a podcast about the strange and unusual. Cryptids, cults, conspiracies, true crime. I do it all.
That's right. I enjoy it too. And I'm glad we got a chance to get you on the show this morning because it's been a while. So let's go ahead and get into it. You got a couple of unusual true crime stories you want to tell us about?
Well, I have one that's a little bigger, so maybe we'll just do one big one this morning.
Let's do that one.
Not too big though. I know you're busy.
No problem.
So your audience here, we're taking you guys over to the Olympic National Forest.
Okay.
That northwestern part of Washington State.
Cool.
Now, there's a little lake up there called Lake Crescent. Actually, not little, quite large. Has a long history of tales and legends. But what brought me there was the true crime story of the beloved Lady of the Lake. Now, her name is Hallie Illingworth. She was a waitress working at the Lake Crescent Tavern right there on the lake. She was a Kentucky farm girl looking for a new beginning in the Evergreen State.
Right.
She's married to a man named Montgomery J. Illingworth, known casually as Monty. He was a beer truck driver and known to be a ladies' man. Now, their marriage was volatile from the beginning, and just 5 months in, a fight broke out that was so fierce the police had to be called to break it up. Now, this is back in the day, kind of when they used to turn their heads for things like that. So I have to tell you, it had to be quite awful.
Wow.
Now, unfortunately, Hallie went
Noelle from Creepy Confidential.
in 1937 after she did not show up for work at the tavern. Now, time goes by, and it's been unsolved. July 6th of 1940, so 3 years later, a few fishermen were out on Lake Crescent trying to, get a bite from the local fish when they discovered something just wild and gruesome floating on the surface of this lake near Sledgehammer Point.
Right.
They found, it looked to appear to be kind of blankets that were wrapped and were just kind of floating on the top of the water. That's all that they could see. Now, inside those blankets, though, I won't give you the full description, but just know that she, or a lady, was discovered, and her whole body had been in the water, but because of the temperature of the water, she was completely saponified and preserved.
Wow.
So because of this reason, they were able to get a few details kind of from her. But everybody was still claiming, we don't know what happened. The husband said, I don't know where she went. Last time I saw her, she was packing her stuff basically and hitting the road. And a friend of hers was able to identify the Now, another interesting part was that she had a dental device.
Okay.
Back in the day, there's nothing that said, hey, that has numbers or anything that says, oh my gosh, I made that. So
Wow.
they had to put this dental device in a medical journal and just put it out there into the open and hope and pray that some physician would recognize their work. In the meantime, this was crazy.
All right.
In the meantime, Monty met another lady around town who happened to be, she was like the daughter of a magnate of Forest Street, where they take all the wood and take it all away, a logging. So
Right.
he had just. So he was trying to hook up with somebody else, and he didn't even care that his wife was gone. Unbothered by his wife's disappearance, right?
Right.
So
wow.
Time goes on, and they're still trying to figure out what had happened. They know that the wool dress belonged to her. They can match the undergarments, match hers. And it turns out a doctor from states away happened to be reading a medical journal and look at the dental device and say, oh my gosh, I know exactly who I made that for. And a date and everything. And it turns out this doctor from South Dakota, this dentist, was able to identify her for sure.
Wow.
Based on a dental device that was in her mouth. So now they have who she is, where she came from, but they have to put the pieces together.
Right.
It turns out that Monty had tried to conceal what he had done by placing her corpse in the trunk of his car, drove to Lake Crescent, stopped and asked for a length of rope from the boathouse there at the tavern.
Right.
And then disappeared with the item. Came back, and that was the end of it. Right? So where did he go? Why did he have rope? And it turns out the rope that was used to tie her arm was the rope that was from that boathouse.
Wow.
So the law caught up to Monty in Long Beach, California.
Mm-hmm.
Not too far away from Hollywood, which is where you were talking about this.
Yeah, all the Hollywood people, yes.
On October 26th of 1941, and he was formally charged with the murder, brought back to Port Angeles, and put on trial. And it was so sensational that his trial actually eclipsed news lines of World War II.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
But in Monty's defense, was that the body of the woman that was found was not hers, and that she was still alive when he last saw her. So they were again able to put all the pieces together in this insane murder trial, because this is the 40s. Stuff like this didn't happen.
No.
He was, you already hear about it. Was sentenced to life imprisonment at Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla. However, he only would serve 9 years before he was paroled and released back into the wild in 1951.
Wow. Man.
What's this, right?
That is, yes. That's scary. Now, my only question is there more to the story? Like, is her ghost haunting the area? Because you keep up with both sides.
Yeah, now that is so true. Now that was actually, I wasn't sure what side of it you would even, maybe be interested in. I know you're interested in both. So initially, that was actually what brought me this case.
Right.
It was probably over 10 years ago. Easily more than 10 years ago. I was looking for cases in the Olympic Peninsula that were paranormal based. And she's actually said to haunt Lake Crescent specifically, and that's how she gets the title, the Lady of the Lake.
Figured it.
Sits there at the lake. And her body itself, so like whatever happened to her, because people are generally like, well, is she buried there? That kind of thing. So initially she was buried as a Jane Doe in Ocean View Cemetery in Port Angeles. And then they packed her up and moved her over to Parkville Cemetery in Vancouver in an unmarked grave. And that's where she sits.
Probably a little of both.
That on those misty nights, on those boat ramps, is where they see her.
Probably a little bit of both, in my opinion.
To have all that injustice happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he basically gets off scot-free and gets to, he lives the rest of his life.
Oh, of course. Of course. That was that day and time. I mean, he was a man. She was a woman. She was a woman. Come on now. She was a woman. You think about it.
That's just what happens. Like when a dude would kill another dude. Oh my gosh, he killed a man in cold blood.
I can't believe they did that.
Do something, and what I didn't want to give all of the gory details
Right.
On radio. So, but just know there was, she wasn't just wrapped in blankets.
Right. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, it's
So that's a little haunting for you.
a little hunting, a little true crime mixed in. Well, tell everybody how to follow you and everything. We had some questions. People just pop in. So go ahead and tell them all about you.
Yeah. So, Creepy Confidential, we are at Creepy Confidential on all social media, except for X. We are Subcreep. But we're not really active on that one, just kind of a placeholder. If you want to get a hold of us or really watch what we're doing, all the other socials, we are at Creepy Confidential or creepyconfidential.com. We'll take you to our merch. It'll take you to our stories, our Creepy Confidential library archives, where you can view the books that we really.
Uh-oh. You there? Uh-oh. They stopped her. They stopped her. They stopped her in the middle of that. Great interview with Creepy. Yes, for a few minutes we had her on. Uh-oh. Call back, Noel. Call back. And finish up what you were saying. I don't know what had happened. Beep. Every time we have the creepy ones come on, the ones like Gail loves. Drop call, unplug. The aliens. Yeah, the aliens got her, huh? Well, you can call back here. If not, you can put stuff in the feed there. No, we appreciate it. I want to get her back on full time on the show. She always does a great job, and she's going to fit right in. There you go. There you go. Just put your information in there. She always does a great job, guys. She knows she has a little radio mindset compared to a lot of other guests I have. She understands the concept of this, and we definitely got to get her back on full time, especially since we're starting to add more stations and stuff, and with all the other stuff that's going to be added within that. So, but put your information in there. You're very welcome. That was kind of scary. The lady of late came after me because you were talking about her. She's like, oh, let everybody know I'm here. Coming up after the break, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in Rockdale County up there. And later on, we'll finish up with a little bit of sports news for you. You know, most of our sports is on Tuesday here on the show, especially when we have our sports analyst, Richard Holdridge. Yes, she is on. You can definitely get her on every one of those social media sites and everything, guys. Follow her and listen. The radio's going, it was creepy, wasn't it? Yeah, it came after me there. It happens. The phones do that sometimes, especially when we have Brenda on or Noel on. Uh-oh, let's go to the phone lines. Hello? 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 Yes, hello.
Hi, my name is David. How are you doing today?
David, you have a nice day and don't call here again. David trying to sell me something. Told you she was on Spotify. There you go. She's everywhere. Everywhere. She's professional, guys. She's a radio personality on the internet. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Come back here in a few moments. A couple of headline news for you. Governor Kemp, state leaders all coming together to provide updates on damage to agriculture caused by Helene. Also, Chamblee police located a 2-year-old missing. Hey, that 2-year-old missing boy with autism has been found in Chamblee there, Pete. You were asking about it yesterday. Fantastic that it happened. They found the little boy safe and sound. We'll get you a little sports news too. Most of our sports. Martin says he likes your voice, Noel. There you go. I knew. Hey, she always does a great job. She is a radio personality. Why do you think when I talked to her, I was like, hey, yeah, you got to be on the show. Anyway, they like your voice there. So there you go. She loves bringing all things creepy. That's it. All right, so there's a couple of great things there. Shelters open, ladies and gentlemen, in Georgia for Hurricane Milton evacuees. Atlanta ballot opens doors to dancers evacuating from Florida. And Fulton County leaders say they're ready for the upcoming 2020 election criticisms. The upcoming election after the 2020 criticisms. They say that's some of the headlines you can read for you. But that little boy has been found, Pete. I know you were looking. Now 2 more are missing. Oh, yeah, I know. But we got 1 back. In Jesus' name, we pray for all of them. We pray over all these young people to be helped and found. We're going to pray for their safe return. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, finishing out the poll question, a couple other things to talk about to close out the show. Stay with us.
And this is Labor History. On this day in labor history, the year was 1991. That was the day that the Pattern Makers League of North America merged with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers. Have you ever heard of the Pattern Makers?
There you go.
Pattern Makers can trace their history all the way back to 1877, where 13 men met in Philadelphia to form their union.
I don't know, Noah, if you want any of my listeners. They're all kind of creepy themselves. I'm just kidding. Pete, I'm just kidding.
And safety of their workers in an ever-changing industry. Like many industrial workers, ebbs and flows in the economy hit their union hard.
Your kind of people. All right, good deal. We definitely got to get you back on a set schedule sometimes for sure, Noel, because I want to get you back on.
Also in the pages of the journal, the Pattern Makers related their efforts to support other
Horse pills for all. Yes, horse pills for all.
The Pattern Makers had more than 15,000 members. During the 1960 space race, it was the Pattern Makers who played an important role. Their molds and models were an essential.
Yep, so I guess it's over. Yeah, it's over. 1.6 million, I think, outages there. I know you want anarchy in the UK. Dun, 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 dun.
American industry run. Labor History at 2 brought to you by the Illinois Labor History Society and the Rick Smith Show. For more information, go to laborhistory2.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on the Twitters at Labor History 2.
Wishbone fried chicken is back.
I woke up and realized I was in Kansas.
31 Jackson Street.
Also, you're in Kansas.
Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone fried chicken right next door to the former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone fried chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bruce Poignant. I'm a counselor that works here in the Metro Atlanta area.
10-man scarecrow, lion, and the wizard.
As a counselor, contact me if you need my services.
You're drinking a little too much Jameson there, Martin. I'm just kidding. You're not sharing it with everybody else.
Or you can reach me at my number, 470-215-0167. If you're in need of counseling services, please reach out. We can do in-person and online.
Destroy the Empire. That sounds like a metal song. Destroy the Empire. Or it could be a band, Destroy the Empire. I'm going to take that name and start a band up with that. Pete, watch out for the lizard people. Lizard people are everywhere. Yeah, Everywhere with their horse pills, right? Chills, thrills, and chills. I'm still skeptic. Me too, Patriot. Real skeptic. What are you talking about? All right, get back to work, Creepy. We appreciate you. Thanks a million for coming on. I love hearing about the Lady of the Lake. She blocked your phone call at the end there. They're in the White House. Sure they are. Sure they are, Gail. Watching a little too much American Horror Story. Oh, anarchy in the UK. I got a little Motley Crue going in the background. All right, that's just for you there, Pete, playing a little. I know you can't barely hear it. Anarchy. There you go. Leading us back into the show. And a little anarchy, because that's what Pete is calling for. The Patience. I love that song. Originally done by Sex Pistols. That was the Motley Crue version I got there. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, closing out the show. Rockdale County residents are calling for this, and this is kind of a serious note for them. And people who live and work in Rockdale County are demanding answers in the wake of the chemical fire from the biolab that happened near the end of September. Dozens of community members, business owners, leaders, and activists are asking for someone to take responsibility, and they're calling for county leaders to be held accountable for this. Wow. Be held accountable for this. Whoa, punk, haha. But it's not anarchy, though. Punk, yeah, rebellion. That's what rock and roll is all about. All right. And so there you go. In Pensacola, Florida, a Kansas City woman is behind bars there in Escambia County. Has been arrested in Florida for accused of shooting her husband after they had an argument. Escambia County Sheriff said 31-year-old Jacqueline King was arrested Tuesday night this past week at a hotel in Pensacola Beach. And the Sheriff's Department says that the call was a shooting. They called the shooting a domestic-related incident. So now she's going to try to get out of it. He made me mad, so I had to kill him. Set Ireland free, destroy the empire. Yes, indeed. So there you go. So that's just a couple of news stories as we get ready to head out of here. And from your sports nuts out there, here's a little bit of sports news for you today. Oh, you didn't know I was going to do that. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. We'll probably try to do a little bit more about Aaron Rodgers saying, hey, man, I'm not the reason this coach got fired from the Jets. We'll talk a little bit about that going in our Football Friday show. With Football Friday, and on Football Friday, we're going to have White Lizard Chronicles for our truck drop there. And we're going to preview a little bit of AEW's Wrestle Dream for Saturday and give you the week's wrap up for you, Gail, and all of you soap opera lovers. Oh, I don't know if it's Punk to be. I think Punk is against. I guess some people feel being a Republican now is Punk, but the real punksters are more like, we hate everybody. We want to go hang out with Uncle Leroy out in the country. I'm picking. You might be right there, Patriot. Seems like it. Anyway, ready for heavy metal after the show? Maybe. Great show today, says Gail. All right, a little bit of sports news. NHL had the Canadians beat the Maple Leafs 1-0. Rangers over the Penguins 6-0. Jets over Oilers 6-0. Golden Knights over Avalanche 8-4 and 6-5 as the Flames flamed and burned the Canucks. Also, tonight you got the Canadians and the Boston. You got the Kings and Buffalo. You got Maple Leafs and the Devils. Florida Panthers and Senators. Utah hockey team taking on Islanders. Penguins, Red Wings. Stars, Predators. Blue Jackets, Wild, and Blues and Sharks. NFL Thursday night football game of the week. Amazon Prime, those San Francisco 49ers, and your Seahawks in Washington, 8:15 p.m. That's it. That's what's going on in the world of sports. Light Lizards, we're doing that tomorrow. Aaron threw the game to get Robert fired. Oh, he did. He threw the game to get him fired, Daniel says. We'll talk more into that. I wanted to get into that this morning, but we had so much true crime stuff. I'm just going to put it on Friday's show to talk about since we're doing Football Friday. And I'll give you the picks to hit that Richard and I had from Tuesday, and we'll talk a little bit of a lot of other stuff and have a good time on Friday. All right, which of these was the most shocking Hollywood murder or murders, ladies and gentlemen? Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, 39% of the votes, 28% going to any other, 22% to Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., and Sharon Tate and friends killed at 11%. Those are some of the most shocking ones ever. Woo! There you go. Tomorrow's Football Friday, and I'm probably going to ask you the game of the week. It won't be 49ers and Seahawks because that's tonight. I think the 49ers are going to take it, though. Sorry, Martin, they are. All right, guys. We're going to get ready to get out of here. You guys stay tuned. More RyanORadio Penitentiary tomorrow's show. Stay tuned. Coming up at the top of the hour, Sustainable Brown Girl, followed by Singled Out. And then we'll have the Pet Buzz. 12 to 2 would be the sports Rob Peterson show. Hopefully everything's all right in their neck of the woods. 12 to 2 p.m. from Sunrise, Florida. It's Rob Peterson show. 2 to 3 p.m. The Sports Beat, Richard Holder takes over. 3 to 5 p.m. It is a great broadcast of Braves Country Radio with Matt McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. 5 to 6 p.m. back live on the show. It is the Rick Smith show from 5 to 6. 6 to 8 will be Total Talk Football with Cole and Drew, and they're talking NFL action for the week. And 8 to 9 will be the Chris Pomey show, and then we'll follow that up with a brand new episode of Hey Coach from the University of Alabama to take you up to midnight. Space Out Radio midnight, 3 a.m. And we're back here tomorrow morning at same time. Falcons going to lose. Falcons going to win, says Daniel. Hey, that's coming from a championship team. A championship. He follows a championship team, Daniel. He follows the Chiefs, the undefeated Chiefs. And if he's calling that, I'm calling it too. Peace, love, respect to you too, ABC brother from Russia. And we'll see what the game of the week is this weekend. We got 4 of them to choose from tomorrow, and we're going to have a great day. Guys, I appreciate you being with us here on this edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. What did Bolly say? I missed it. Yep, Lotless, bring your bleach and condoms, says Gail. Yeah, for tomorrow for that last hour, you better. All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace, love, respect them out of here. Like, subscribe, and share. Get it up. Let's get that 100. Get that 1,000 followers. Falcons or not. Hey, he said, let's see. Laugh at my ass out. Laugh at my ass off. There you go. Yes. Peace and prosperity may follow you all. Thank you, Rotide Randall. Doing a little influence on YouTube, brother. We appreciate you, brother, man. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Great discussion today, too. Thank you, Pamela and Patriot, for your input. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you guys 110%. Let me go ahead and get this off of here. Oh, good. It stopped on its own. Cher, we'll see you tomorrow too, sister. Cher, Molly, hurricane hit. I think it's already hit. Hit last night. Better turn that down before they say my video. They still got a little storm surges and tornadoes coming through. Storm surge and stuff like that. But other than that, all right, there we go. Strong winds, gusting blow. Yep. Definitely take care, everybody. We will definitely want everybody to do that. That's all right, Cher. We have everybody has those regular days to do like that. It's no problem. We appreciate you being with us anyway. 17 tornadoes already happened before I went to bed. Yep. That's what Pamela said too last night. And there's just several storm surges. I think Helene was worse. It destroyed a lot of stuff. They're just we'll have to get the final total or whatever's going to happen when they get everything set. Yeah, we'll have to get the final total on all that when everything's set. I'm hoping it wasn't as bad, but it was terrible. It was one of the worst in history. What did Martin say again? What'd you say, Martin? Oh, Jameson. Okay. There you go. That makes perfect sense right there. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna definitely check it out. We still have a lot of people here, sheltered here in Georgia from all of that. Tomorrow's gonna be a fun day. We'll do all the truck driver Terry's gonna love it because we're gonna do his segment. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to let you go. Never jump the gun. That's right. That's what she said. Oh. I should have said that. All right, folks. Great show. Thank you very much, Ryan. Oh yeah, don't forget the library tonight, 6 p.m. I will definitely come by at 6 p.m. I was supposed to go to my church last night for our fall tent revival. We never got a chance. I will make sure that I make some time to drop into the pre-show in the morning to the RyanORadio Penitentiary. It's called Minuteman Mountain War Room. That's right. Thank you. Watch for the comment. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. I need to look that up, too. That's another thing. Share. Some people are going to be able to see that tomorrow night. Yeah. Definitely so. You guys have a great day. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Matt. Also, Matty. I'm going to call you Matty, whatever. Thank you, Matt, for sharing my information and sending over. We appreciate everybody. And ABC, no worries that you can't be on Monday. Just rewatch the show later. And see if we can get as many people to start liking this. Every day it seems like, and I want to thank all the people that watch this show after it's over. Come on, like and share with all their friends, and their friends start following me. I want to thank you guys from all around the world for doing that. I appreciate each and every one of you guys out there. My main core people, my OGs, my core people, which is all of you, and all the new people coming on and everything. And I appreciate everybody's diverse mindsets. It's so great. I'm excited. That's the only thing I want to take credit for is bringing different people together. Oh, but all right. Much love, brother. I appreciate it too. Natalie Woods should have won. Maybe she should have, Randall. But I knew that Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman were going to probably be the top one. I'm surprised about Sharon Tate. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love this guy. Forget about it. Thank you. Speaking of that, I'm going to be watching Got Gotti. There's a series on Netflix. I'm going to check that out and talk about it. Also, a few different things. So there you go. I think whenever your sun sets, you can check it out. Bye, Pete. You have a good day. You better be there tonight too, Pete. All right, guys. We'll see you. Hit that. Goodbye. There you go.